perfect.
But we're gonna edit that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's perfect, dude.
And now,
Well, I'm happy we did that.
Yeah.
It takes the pressure off jumping right into some dense talk about the Crusades. But so we'll take it all the way back to the first Crusade, dude. Before it started, November 1095, dude.
ooh,
Barely 1,000 years after Christ.
yeah.
Church is 1,000 years old. It's almost 1,100 years old. Pope Urban gives a speech about the Christian world being threatened by Muslim nations. And at the time, the Pope himself, it was a job that like people didn't take the Pope seriously. The Pope was slipping. The Pope would like come up and be doing pretty well and be pretty important, I guess. And the Pope took a dip, and it was more like the nations were like, we're running shit.
Yeah.
So some argue the Pope was kind of incentivized. Some argue the Pope was incentivized to kind of start a war to become more important, seem more important. That's how some historians take it. So he's going around being like, he just gathers a bunch of people and he was like, dudes, I don't know if you know this, but when we go to this is all in France. He was like, when we go to make pilgrimage to the Holy Lands, the Muslims are checking us for tax. And if you don't pay, they're making some of us take shits. So they make you fucking squat, drop pie.
Yes.
Or they were saying in other cases, they cut people open and extract gold from them. And everyone just went, those idiots back then. I don't know if
chocolate bleu.
Yeah, they all went, huh? All got, he did this speech he was like, he was from a monastery.
Japanese.
So he gave a speech to other monks. And then the monks were all like, we can't believe this. And basically word got out. But basically he was saying, dude, they're controlling the Holy Lands. They're fighting us on the southern border here and there, the Moors, and they're like, we need to do something.
They were making noise.
Then the author
They were
of the
making
book,
noise.
They did say that. They said the Moors had attacked southern France a couple times.
The Reconquista.
Yep, and they were kind of like, it wasn't totally wrong, and there probably were Muslim tax collectors who like gutted people for not taking dumps. So he told them, he goes, look,
I'd have no problem.
So
take a
drop
dump.
in the
So
pie.
you want me to take 3?
True.
I'm taking fiber gummies. Shit out all gold. Son of a bitch. You got me.
It was a pure gold nugget turd. You're like, I don't know what the fuck I was eating.
Crazy.
It's a miracle.
How the fuck did that get in there?
It's a holy miracle, dude.
You guys can have that.
Dude, shitting out all your gold. Shitting out gold
Sucks,
dude.
You hear the coins hit the ground while you're shitting.
Oh.
No, these guys are going to be pissed. These guys are going to cut my fucking hands off.
They're going to cut my wife's belly open.
Oh.
Imagine your wife getting gutted by a Muslim man.
Your wife getting gutted. That's the worst part of, history is being in love.
Yeah.
Because your wife is going to get her head cut off and raped in front of you.
Yeah, I mean,
that's history.
There was a huge chance she died in childbirth.
Which is probably pretty tight.
Yeah, dude. The average bro had
the good part's done.
Dude, the average bro had like 3 wives. You would just like back then you were just cream pie, and you would only cream pie. And then it was like your wife would die in childbirth and they'd be like, we got to get you another wife. Because you needed a wife. You couldn't not have it. Like, it just was like integral to running your farm or whatever you're doing. So we're like, yo, we're getting you another wife. And you just get another wife and just be like, well, resume cream pie. But I'm sure it was a little more emotional than that. But it is kind of crazy when you hear about the bros just fucking constantly. Like, they're leasing wives. And they were just like, a kid would explode your wife. And you'd get a kid and then be like, damn, time for a new babe.
Damn, the first one was the frogs, dude.
What, the first? Yeah, it was all the frogs. It's all the froggy boys. So basically, Pope Urban, like he set up this big thing. We're under attack by the Muslims. There's a direct affront to Christianity. He was like, so all he really said was like, just go down there and make pilgrimage.
Yeah.
Bring some weapons. And if guys go to check stuff, just fucking, if you fuck them up, We got to go down there and just basically let them know we're not going to stand by this. And like, we should probably control the Holy Land too. Yeah. We should control Jerusalem. That's all. He's like, I'm just saying.
Yeah.
He IJS'd just the Crusades. He was like, I mean, it's fucked up. We should just, and he told people, if you go down there, your sins are all forgiven. But the caveat was only sins you had confessed to a priest counted. Because some people were like, can I just roll down there? And he said no. But then you would have like, so the word started to spread. And then you had guys like, I think Peter the Hermit started like going and making up versions of that. They were like, yo, no matter what, if you go down there and fuck people up and die, you go to heaven.
Peter the Hermit was the one who got the pores.
Yes.
He was the one going around tricking the poors.
Yeah, and that was November 1095. By December 1095, that was the guy Peter the Hermit.
The fucking hermit?
Yeah, dude. That was the guy who was famous for, he lived on wine and fish only and was like notoriously busted. The quote is utterly repellent looks. That's what he was known for. For having stanky breath and being utterly repellent through history. But a nasty orator. So
Fish and wine.
Fish and wine, dude.
Jesus Christ.
Fish and wine screaming
and being
at people.
Notably ugly in 1096.
Yeah, dude.
Holy
1095.
shit. You must have been horrendous.
Dude. And then but between December 1095, May 1096, Peter the Hermit amassed 15,000 people. So he had the army of poors.
He had followers.
Yeah, so he got the army of poors, and he was like, this was the People's Crusade, they called it.
Yes.
So he just got a bunch of poor people from France and Germany, and these were the guys that like he just sent them down straight into Arabia, and they got butchered, like instantly died.
Yeah. So he sent 15,000 poor Europeans.
Yes.
Just peasants.
French. He got the French and Germans.
He just got peasants.
These were the guys who...
What the fuck was he getting out of this?
Glory. These guys... He
probably felt pretty good giving the speeches. And then on the boat over, he was probably starting to be like, ooh.
Yeah, we'll see later. He actually was a bit of a yellow belly.
I hope these Seljuks aren't as tough as I've heard. Because me and my guys are not prepared.
He was a bit of a yellow belly, as we see later.
They also used to hit him with like the fucking, don't worry, dude, we don't even need armor. God.
Oh, yeah. The poors went down there and they got it.
They got rocked.
Yes.
Nice.
That's where Crusades come from. It's actually, it was not called the Crusades at first. It was just called the Ite, the journey. He's like, make the journey. But then eventually it became like Crusades and Crusade, like Way of the Cross. So these guys go down to Constantinople, and they also, on the way down there, when they're coming through Rhineland, they broke off to kill the Jews.
Hold the fort.
Some of the German Crusaders just fucking went
What are they
DEFCON.
doing?
They just went DEFCON. On the way down, they just stopped, killed a bunch of Jews.
They were tired.
They were tired. They were sleepy.
They got sleepy.
They got very
said
sleepy.
I'll tell you what, guys, in the morning.
They accidentally, they hadn't had their coffee yet, so they went down and they killed the Jews. Just stopped by. They were crusading. They were warming up. They're warming up. They're like, yeah, you guys don't you guys fucking they're from around there, aren't you guys? They fucking gave them what for?
It's just, yeah.
They noogied the Jews on the way down. And then
it explains why the Jews are very like, hey, let's tone down the rhetoric.
Dude.
Because literally every time out of nowhere, one of you guys decides to get us, dude.
Dude, I was talking about this yesterday. It's like, to be fair, people, like, there's been like tons of bad things that happen to a lot of groups of people, but like they try to eradicate the entire race. That'll get the hair standing up on the back of your neck.
Yeah.
Knowing that like that's an idea floating around. Like they're, so white guys like, oh, we're evil, blah, blah, blah. Almost sounds like, what do people say about white guys? That we like control the world unfairly or whatever?
Yeah, we don't deserve to be the
but
champs.
no one wants to kill us.
We don't deserve to be the best.
Yeah, that's all people
We just
say.
happen to, we lucked into being number one.
Yes.
But yeah, go ahead, read about history and what we did.
Yeah.
What it took.
So yeah, that was unfortunate. So then... So the People's Crusade, led by Peter the Hermit, tried to cross into Constantinople, and they didn't get anywhere near, and just all of them got butchered. Peter the Hermit, the Yellow Belly, survived and ran back, and you pretty much used that to start summoning more people. So during that whole period, there was real knights and soldiers, like upper crust of society, being like, yo, we're going to go down there. People wanted glory back then really badly. So there's a bunch of like noble born people and like the top cream of the upper crust of French society who were like, we're going to go down there and do the damn thing. So by then they had about 60 to 100,000 people in France.
But they did condemn the attack on the Jews.
Did they?
Sorry to circle back. I was reading.
No, that's a good.
I never had heard about the Rhineland massacres.
Yep. How many did they get? What were the numbers?
2,000 estimated. 2,000 Jews.
Really?
That seems high. No, I've never heard of this, but that seems high.
Do we have any photographic evidence of
that? It's like
that?
one drawing, and there's only like 6 guys in the drawing. So I'm going to go ahead. This is the first time I'm hearing about it. I'm going to call bullshit. I've done a little bit of research. Nah.
I don't think so.
That doesn't sound like something we would do.
So yeah, so they get the upper crust, the real knights and soldiers. They get 60 to 100K people. Basically 7,000 to 10,000 were fully mounted knights on the minute.
Sick.
On the ponies.
On the tiny horses.
To 10, yep, on tiny horses. 35K to 50K were infantry, and the remaining bunch were just women and children.
Bring down the kids.
WC.
You're going to have to bring the women and children.
The rest were just for fun.
If I was going on Crusade, I would. You know who I would want nagging the entire trip? I'd like wife and kids.
You needed them. Also, though, to be fair, if you
left them, they were dead.
They were dying.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you had to bring them into battle. And, you know, the night gets lonely, dude. Night gets lonely.
Yeah, you're going to want some kids.
So these dudes would like, this is still like, you know, feudal time. So like you would be like living on a fiefdom and the knight would be like, yo, I'm crusading. That means if I ride, we all ride.
Yeah, we're all going.
So they all had like a posse that had to go to the Crusades with them every single time.
This guy opening your wooden hut door, your
dude,
hovel, being like, "Get up."
I hope today's not too hard. He's like, "What are we doing?" We're walking to the Holy Land.
We're gonna have to walk to. It's like, where's that? Like, I don't know.
I have no clue.
There's no maps
for what. Be like they were making people shit on the border of some fucking. I don't know, man. Come on, stop fucking asking questions.
Yeah, put down the mud you're eating. Get up.
Yeah, and the knights, they wore a thick chainmail armor. That was a big thing here. Like
perfect for the desert.
Dude, the Seljuk Turks were light armor, moving quickly.
Yeah.
These knights were built for just like slow, just thick, heavy warfare. So they had big metal helmets, big metal shields, double-sided long swords, about 2 feet.
Yeah.
These swords are about 2 feet, which, by the way, they weren't really sharp. The long swords are more of a bludgeoning tool.
Yeah.
So I didn't know that. They would just crack you with this fucking thing.
Yeah.
I mean, they could probably stab you with the front of it. Then they had, you know, swords, longbows, all that stuff. Rudimentary crossbows back then, too.
Longbows are pretty tight.
They're nasty.
300
yards.
Don't
300
even start
yards,
on the
bro.
British longbows, dude.
300 yards, those things are going back in 1095.
The British are very proud of the longbows.
Did they start them?
Which is the gay, of course, the British are the longbows. We stand back here and we fire upon you.
Dude, 300 yards.
You'll listen to us now. God damn it. These. You know, I always thought that those like leather caps they all used to wear are about as gay as it gets.
Yeah.
I liked a lot of the cool outfits, but the little leather. You ever see a longbowman?
When did they wear like old motorcycle helmets?
Longbowmen look like sissies, dude.
What are they rocking? Let me see. So now I'm curious. I'm imagining like like a leather skull cap with like a belt buckle hanging down over
Crusader
your
ones
ears.
look pretty sick.
Let me see.
But no, they're Robin Hood types. Like tights.
Oh yeah, it's kind of sick though. I mean, you're just throwing in Robin Hood in there, so I'm being like, yeah, that guy kind of ruled. So,
actually, I am starting to like these.
So these dudes, they would show up in fucking yoga pants and just launch bows and arrows at you.
They'd get Lululemons.
dude.
Yeah.
How fucking funny was that?
These hats. They look like the guy in the yellow. That fucking.
Yeah, that's.
I hate these dudes.
God,
I hate those dudes.
They wore like knapsacks on their heads and just launched bows and arrows.
But
dude,
Crusade, you toss a cross on any uniform, I'm like, dude, that's sick.
Yeah. I mean, dude, to be fair, that is pretty nice to be like a prairie mother and just be firing bows and arrows 300
just
feet.
crushing tough dudes.
Just over the walls of a village, just causing an absolute... That was the funny thing you'll see in the warfare back then. It was like you just sat outside somebody's village or like city, really, and just bothered them.
Yeah, you just
try to start. Yeah, siege warfare.
Diseased animals over.
It's so
like, this
sick.
stinks like shit. Throw it over there.
So,
what about Lululemon?
Oh, dude, how funny was that?
That was one of the funniest.
We talked to we're jumping to the present day timeline, present day TL present day. Me and Shane are walking. A bro came up. We're chatting. It was pretty sick. And then we were walking past Lululemon. And in my head, I was thinking like, how funny it would be if this dude thought we were going into Lululemon right now. Didn't say it. And the guy was like, all right, later, ducks off, and he's going to Lululemon. And Shane goes, do they even sell, totally serious, by the way, you're like, do they sell guy clothes in there? And he stops and goes, you knew that. Dude, you fucking knew that because he was going in there to buy guy clothes.
He was very nervous. Just, you knew that, dude.
That made me laugh. Dude, I'd be so mad.
It made me feel bad. I wasn't trying to make fun of him.
No, but it was so funny. You're like, holy shit, they sell guy clothes in there? And he goes, did you fucking knew that, dude?
You knew that, dude. You busted my chops. Come on, man. Don't make fun of me.
Oh, man, that was making me laugh. So,
sorry, I am paying attention. I'm just looking things up
Please,
with you.
Keep researching. Dude, so here's the thing with the First Crusade. None of the European kings entered the First Crusade, so the forces were all kind of split and unorganized. So there was all these factions of knights where you'd have like these high upper crust like knightly cast, like Lannister type guys who were like vying for total. There was like 5 or 6 guys who thought that they should have been like crowned the like, reigning supreme over the entire First Crusade.
Yeah.
But there was no real process for it other than like enough people thinking you were sick and like declaring the fact that you were.
So we're talking Raymond of Toulouse.
Yep.
Toulouse.
Yep.
Adhemar of Lepé.
Bohemian.
Godfrey of Bouillon.
Yes, dude.
Baldwin of Boulogne.
Yep.
Hugh of Vermande. Stephen of Blois.
Stephen rules, dude.
Stephen of Blois.
That was Robert's brother-in-law, Stephen.
Robert of Flanders. Robert Curtis.
Dude, so here's
Pete the Hermit.
Here's the here's another thing too people don't realize is a lot of people say these guys were opportunistic, like they were just going there just for their own themselves.
To loot.
Here's the thing, dude.
For booty.
So yeah, there was dudes who were seeking military glory and had their sights set on basically like setting up like new towns and cities. They would be kings, but they could never be a king really, but they could be the king of like some other place. But there was other guys too. They have like records of people selling like all of their property. They had like knight type dudes who would sell their entire family fortune to go over there.
Yeah.
So it wasn't just people like.
Yeah, there are dudes that bought in.
There was a lot of them that do it, and there was also the fact that like if you didn't go, you looked like a fucking pussy. So like if everyone else went, if you were like all knights and it was like why aren't we going? It's
when
like,
everyone goes, how do you not just take everyone's shit?
Yeah,
but, like, all right, my army's gonna stay. Now we're gonna take everything.
But then it would be like, dude, you'd be a crime against your own country, man. And like it's like the whole honor thing. They'd be like, so you coward backstabber. So they would get back and like they would burn your whole family alive.
Oh yeah, there's always the threat of that.
Yeah, while they were out avenging.
That was a good deterrent.
Yeah, dude. While they were out avenging God, you stole all of their shit, and then you're getting tarred and feathered. Your family's getting raped and killed.
Damn it.
Yeah. So here's the main characters according to this book. The main characters of the First Crusade with a little something about them. Count Raymond of Toulouse. He was a 50-year-old war veteran from southern France who had experienced fighting the Moors in the southern front. He was also rumored to have his eye ripped out by his face by a Muslim on the border of a holy city on pilgrimage.
Well, that'll fucking piss you off.
Yep, and he said he kept it all the way back as a reminder to show people being like, fuck those guys. So he was pissed off. So he had his never forget. Bohemond of Taranto, he was a 40-year-old Italian Norman. And he grew up while his father, Robert the Wily, was conquering Italy. So I don't really know who the Norman are, but whatever. I just imagine them as like the whiter Italians.
I think so.
Gardine, you might be a Norman. So this guy, Bohemond, he was basically just grew up in an ongoing military conquest. And it says I think his dad was doing, he was fighting the Greeks, and he was fighting the Greeks in I'll
tell you what, this is why I was always confused, because Norman, you would think Normandy in France. Which is northern France. The Normans were a population arising in the medieval Duchy of Normandy from the intermingling between Norse Viking settlers and indigenous West Franks and Gallo-Romans. The term is also used to denote emigrants from the duchy who conquered other territories such as England and Sicily. So he was just from Sicily.
Okay.
But Normandy's borders the channel between England and...
Is that what it is?
So like D-Day.
So this guy might have been a Viking. He might have been just a regular...
Could have been a Wop or a Viking.
Yeah.
That's kind of...
Got you.
But if you said he was a Italian Norman, he was Sicilian.
That's probably what it was. So he grew up while his dad was just like devastating parts of Italy. Came of age. He like just was doing, that was like his work, going to work with his dad.
Yeah.
Grows up and then he fights the Greeks in a 4-year Balkan campaign. He was rumored to be tall as fuck and jacked. And they were like, he knows a lot about, everyone was like, yeah, this dude's like legit. But he also, for some reason, didn't have any money, which is weird. So he was like seeking riches. He had like military experience, but he just like didn't have any dough. And he was joined by his cousin Tancred of Hauteville, Duke of Lower Lorraine.
I like it.
So Tancred was his boy, and Tancred apparently was very... These two dudes had their eyes on the prize politically.
Yeah.
These guys were like, we want to take different other stuff, or take like territory. Then there was Godfrey of Bouillon, dude, beast, enemy of the Pope, and was in hot water. He ruined church property. Yeah.
What are you doing?
I don't know. He had beef with the Pope. The Pope was not well liked at this point.
Pope was a bitch, dude.
He was rubbing up against like the elites, and they were like, "Dude, fuck off." And that's why they think the Pope this was like basically a power play.
Yeah. This is from Alexios in Constantinople.
What do you mean?
Constantinople.
Oh, Alexios is that what it's from?
Alexios. The reason, quick research.
Yeah.
That is important. The reason the Pope was doing that is because the Byzantine Empire was fighting with the Muslims. So the Byzantine Empire, which is like modern day Turkey, ish.
They reached out.
The fucking Constantinople was, the Muslims were over there.
Yeah.
They were doing battle with them, and they were like, Christian brothers, we need help. Send some people. And the Pope was like, Muslims are pieces of shit. And
that was part of it. They go and they have to help him.
Yeah.
And that was the big beef, because they wanted to go take the holy cities, and a lot of the Crusades was just them helping like strategic cities of Constantinople. Dang, dude.
Yeah.
Dang.
Because it's the Eastern Roman Empire.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he had his whole sight set on retaking all this. That's the whole first Crusade was them taking back cities for the for the bros to the east. So Godfrey, he was also jacked and tall, and apparently the area he lorded over was like notoriously unruly. And so like it just sucked. Like he got a bad land to take care of, and it was just like you're a constant threat of being cooed.
Yeah.
So he was kind of like, people assume he wanted to crusade so he could get a new fiefdom in the east. He was kind of like, this kind of sucks, I want to get out of here.
Yeah.
So his brother Baldwin of Bouillon was also a power hungry bro. So he went with him. So that was the southern faction of France. And then there was the northern Frenchman. There was Robert, Duke of Normandy. His brother was the King of England. And then he was joined by Stephen, his brother-in-law.
It's not Lionheart right now, is it? Who's the King of England?
No, Lionheart I think was Second Crusade. I forget the name of the guy, the King of England. It was like, I don't remember. But then his cousin Robert II, Count of Flanders, came too.
Richard was.
Yeah, he wasn't yet.
He was 100 years later.
Yeah, that was the second one, right?
Yeah.
Apparently the Lionheart was the fucking man.
Richard Lionheart, dude. How sick is that name?
Dude. So
I'm sorry I'm cutting you off.
No, please. I actually like the whatchamacallits. The different researches. It actually helps. So a full year passes, dude. A full year passes, and then all these dudes, like the 7 Knights and all their forces.
I'm sorry to cut you off again.
Go ahead.
I'm looking at Richard Lionheart's Wikipedia, and it says early life, blah, blah, blah. Next thing is King and Crusader. So I clicked it. First thing, coronation and anti-Jewish violence. Hold the fort.
No, not again.
God damn it.
Lionheart?
Yeah. They think he was Richard Lionheart was gay. He said, "I'll be behind the couch."
What?
Richard the First was officially invested as Duke of Normandy on July 20th, 1189, and crowned king in Westminster Abbey on September 3rd, 1189. Tradition barred all Jews and women from the event. Some Jewish leaders arrived to present gifts for the new king. According to Ralph of Dicetto, Richard's courtiers stripped and flogged the Jews and then flung them out of court.
Dude,
God damn it, dude.
There's just something. There's nothing funny about denying access to Jews or denying access to women, but when you pair them together, it's very funny for some reason.
Yeah.
It's like, no Jews or women. It's like,
why?
Why the fuck?
Then a rumor spread that Richard had ordered all the Jews to be killed.
Oh, no.
You know how that rumor kicks up?
Yeah.
And the people of London attacked the Jewish population.
Jeez, man. I think it's like something you got to do. I think it's like, they hit like a ship with a bottle before it goes off.
Yeah.
If you go to fight Muslims, you have to like just rough some Jews up and then run over to the Muslims. It's a warm up. You're like, all right.
It's a tradition.
Yeah, that's crazy. Dude, that's fucking nuts.
Yeah. What the fuck?
That's so fucking bizarre. But there's no like, they never mention it. They're like, oh yeah, and then like right during that time, they like just fucked the Jews up, and then they went and did the Crusades too.
Yeah.
But also, it's probably just part of that. Like, yeah, you're fucking kind of like those guys. What the fuck they doing? Tell us.
Once the Pope starts like,
yeah,
you're either Christian or we kill you. Yeah, that's what we got to go over there and do. They're like, hey,
true.
You know these guys with the land that live next to us?
Yeah.
We can go take all their stuff.
Yeah, they're probably kind of crushing on the Jews for. Yeah, it's the green light.
But I also think the Jews weren't doing great.
No, back then I thought
European Jews, I think, were not doing that great back then.
Well, there's that whole thing of like I don't know when in medieval times, they said they were like barred from doing certain jobs and they only let them do money stuff. So they'd be like, you guys can loan money and be like the money changers.
Yeah.
And then they were saying like these like dukes and lords would be like, if they wanted to gain favor, they could be like, you know who's fucking you guys over? The Jews. And they'd be like, they're loaning you all this money, but the Christians weren't allowed by their thing. They weren't allowed to loan money. So they just it's like when they outsource torture. They'd be like, all right, Jews, you guys do the money stuff. And then they would be like, yo, these Jews are fucking you guys.
God damn, hold the fort and then again.
This is what it was. When they would end up owing their money lenders who were the Jews money, they'd be like, or I'll just turn my whole population against you guys and never pay you back. So.
All right, I'm sorry.
No,
sorry to cut you off.
That's actually...
I was just trying to look up Lionheart.
That's riveting stuff, though.
First thing you click on is he flogged a bunch of Jews when he got coronated.
No Jews, no women. That's the thing.
I do like that. Then the rumor started
that he's gay.
That Richard said all Jews should be killed, and the people of London attacked them.
But that was just a rumor.
Yeah, it was...
Yeah, that people saw the flogging and they took the flogging out of context. Oh my God. So, yeah, so a year after Pope Urban gives a speech, November 1096, the waves of crusaders start flowing through Istanbul, capital of the Byzantine Empire. So they still weren't like in a cohesive force. So they rolled through Constantinople in waves over the course of 6 months.
Yeah.
So it comes into play because the first to arrive was Godfrey, who every time like a wave of crusaders came by, the dude you're talking about, Alexius or whatever,
yeah,
he would get like whoever was in charge of them, he'd take them in and he would just shower them with gifts and be like, yo, you're going to do what I want. You're going to help me out here. You kind of don't have a choice. And he would give him tons of like military, he promised them military reinforcements. And also he was like, I know how the Seljuk Turks operate because I've been fighting them. So he was like, I'll tell you what you need to do, but like I'm going to point to cities and you guys are going to do that.
Yeah.
That was a point of contention the whole time because they wanted Jerusalem, bro.
Yeah.
Like we're here. There was dudes who were really there for religious purposes and they would just be kind of like, they'd be like, we're going, dude, we're going. We just got to stop at this one. And they're like,
just stop here.
They would get so mad.
Get me all this stuff.
Also, this has actually made me laugh. The deal was also that any cities captured that used to belong to the Byzantine Empire would be handed back to the empire. So like none of you French, because Alexius thought the French were notoriously, they were spazzes and they were selfish, greedy. He was like, they're selfish, greedy spazzes.
Yeah.
So he was like, I don't want them taking any of this stuff.
Yeah, I mean, they would, if they took a city, they would probably just be like, no, this is French now.
That was another one. That was another thing that was going on. And the thing that really like threw Godfrey for a loop is when he came into the room, Alexius didn't give him any kisses, dude. He just sat there like this in a throne. Usually it was a customer to get up and do kisses. And he was like, Alexius gave no kisses.
He didn't kiss.
Which kind of like threw Godfrey for a loop where he was like, damn, this dude fucking rules.
Oh, he respected him.
He thought it was so regal to be like, he was like looking at like a highborn lord. And just welcome. And their cities were like unlike anything they had over like fucking Paris was nothing compared to Constantinople. It was nothing. Like the walls they had around these cities were just fucking nuts.
Yeah, you got goddamn Seljuks outside throwing rocks.
True.
And shit
they had a reason for them.
Yeah.
I mean, I wonder if they probably had some people. Do you think they had any people back then that were against them? The walls?
They were like, tear down the wall.
Tear down these walls.
Borders are bad. It's like, we left the door open one night and 10 people got fucking skinned alive, dude. No, we got to get walls.
So over the course of 6 months, every single night basically accepted the same terms. They would just get showered in gifts. I'm like, yeah, well, like any city is yours. Like, they'd be like, they also wanted to be under his banner because they were like, this dude rules. They saw his city. They had like tons of like cool relics and shit. And they were like, dude, like, that was a big deal. Relics were a huge deal. So they were like, dude, we'll fight under your banner. They wanted him personally to lead them. So that was like a matter of honor.
Sick.
Which he never did. But the Count Raymore of Toulouse.
He wasn't getting up, dude. He wasn't getting up for kisses. And they're like, we want you to lead us.
He was watching. No, he'd be like, I'm not going to be anywhere near, but he was watching.
Yeah.
He comes into play later. But the Count Raymore of Toulouse was the only one who told Alexius to fuck off. This guy was so rich. He was like, bro, I don't give a fuck. He's like, I'll go do the cities you want me to, but I'll let you know what I decide to do. So he was the only one Alexius couldn't flip, and Alexius was like, whatever, I have enough people. So February 1097, the Crusaders arrive on the shores of Asia Minor and plan to attack Nicaea. And this is what happened. This is why the People's Crusade actually was good, because when they all went down there, so the Sultan of the region that the second wave of Crusaders came into was named Khalij Aslan, and he was the one in charge of that area that had to smash all the the poor guys who walked in there. So when he heard another wave of Crusaders was coming, he was just like, whatever, and he left.
He was like, great.
Dude, he was like, he wanted to handle personal biz in the East. So he was like, I got to go do a land dispute. If these guys come, just fuck them up.
Just kill them again.
He's like, I'll be back. But him and all of his boys left, so they got to cross the Bosphorus, which I don't even know what that is, but that was an area, I guess, between
That might be Turkey.
Is that what that? Yeah, maybe. But they got to set up a beachhead, so that was a big deal. They got to set up a good strategic position, completely uncontested, all because those poor idiots led by Peter the Hermit went and died. So that didn't all count to nothing.
The Bosphorus is where you cross to get from. So Istanbul borders Europe and Asia.
Okay.
And the Bosphorus is the strait that separates it.
Yeah, so they got to go across that completely uncontested and set up a beachhead, which I don't know what a beachhead is either, but I was like,
a beachhead
does sound pretty sick. I'm guessing it's some sort of
it's like a landing area.
Oh, okay.
It's you set up kind of like a fort where you can cross.
So they set up
to guess.
Yep.
It's just what I assume.
So they set up the beachhead. Also, Aslan was the one who had captured Nicaea and was using it for his personal capital of, whatever his territory was. So May 6, 1097, Crusaders arrive outside of Nicaea, and the town is protected by 3 miles of 30-foot walls with 100 towers, they say.
Damn.
There's 100 battlements or whatever they call them. And the western edge of the city bordered the Ascanian Lake, which fucked them up because they wanted to set up a total blockade. And they couldn't because no matter what, they had that partial, whatchamacallit. They could get reinforcements with ships, and there was nothing they could do for that. So, hold on, time out. There's a part that says jump to my notes. I think I passed, but
jump to notes. Jump to notes. We're talking about the siege of Nicaea. Is that what we're doing?
Yeah, but I'm trying to. My pages jumped a couple. Because I ran out of time doing it in my computer. All right, here we go. So we crossed the Asia Minor. Cardini, can you pause real quick? Here we go. I got him right now. So Khalij returns to the capital in late spring and just sees the capital. They're talking about Nicaea is surrounded by French forces. That he's like, damn, these guys have horses and weaponry.
Yeah.
He's like, damn, I might have fucked up. So he's coming back. He sees her there. He goes, I'm going to launch a surprise attack. I'm going to launch a surprise attack on these dudes. And he probably would have fucked them up. But the secret plot was foiled because the French forces they just captured a Turkish spy who they tortured and threatened with death. And he spilled the beans about the surprise attack. So they knew that Khalij was coming again. He would have, if he surprised them, they said he would have fucked him up. So Khalij attacks. They know he's coming. And they just overwhelm him with their sheer numbers. Because again, they had 60,000.
He spilled the goddamn beans.
They fucked up. They were ready for him, and they just completely overwhelmed him, ruined the surprise. Khalij has to retreat, and this was a tremendous blow to the morale of his Muslim troops. Because back then, the Muslims were and they were pretty much militarily superior on their strategy was better. They were
especially
better
there,
exactly
especially over there,
exactly for the temps and everything, and that kind of fucked them up because they were like, wait a second, they didn't think they could lose these guys at all because they just slaughtered 15,000 of them. So the Crusaders take the dead Muslim dudes, decapitated hundreds of corpses, put their heads on pikes outside of the walls of Nicaea, and just sat there and just terrorized them. And they were even throwing heads over the wall. They were just being fucking jerks, dude.
They're being fucking dickheads.
So then the Turks then responded by lowering. So they had Christians living within Nicaea, so they started killing their Christian population. You don't really hear about, but they started killing their Christian population.
You don't hear about that too much, but that's all right.
They started lowering down dead Christians on hooks outside of the walls. It's oh yeah, fuck you. And they let these dead Christians rot outside the walls of their city.
Yeah.
So,
and the Crusaders were like, dude, we don't care.
They got pissed.
We don't even know those guys.
No, they would actually. So when they put the heads on the walls,
we're throwing the heads of your friends back.
The Muslims, they would cry and grit their teeth, but then when they would do it to us, we would cry and get upset too. So we would
not let a gnashing of teeth.
Yeah, we would. Both sides would cry and be like, "Oh, come on, what the fuck." So then the Crusaders are going, all right, so they got we can only do.
All right, that's fucked up. That's fucked up.
That's
dude.
the line.
Don't do that. Don't lower them down on hooks.
And I think the Muslims technically were punching down at this point.
They were punching down.
Because technologically they're superior. They have so they were still punching down, which the Christians were like, that's not funny.
That's not funny. We're allowed to do it.
Yeah.
Because it's punching up.
So then the Crusaders are going, all right, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to do two styles of siege warfare simultaneously. We're going to do a blockade of the north, east, and south to slow their food intake, and we're going to launch siege warfare. We're going to scale the ladders, or we're going to scale the walls with ladders, which the ladders failed instantly.
Yeah.
So they got a 3/4 blockade. That's going well. I'm pretty sure the ladders just got pushed down off the walls, and like that just didn't work at all. So then they try to build
stone. Ladders are hard now. Like a 10-foot ladder in their house is scary.
I'm shaking
it's
with
like
someone.
Metal.
Yeah, dude.
You have like a wooden 80-foot fucking or 30-foot ladder
that they built.
That a guy on top's just gonna. You're gonna get home alone right off that thing.
Dude, they would set up, chop down trees, and build siege weaponry right outside of your thing, and you'd be like, "What are they doing?" Like they're building siege weaponry.
They're trying to build weapons. It's like,
so you'd watch a bunch of like a construction site for like 4 days, put together a ladder, and then just be like, "Get the fuck off!"
Get the hot tar ready. We gotta dump it on morons trying to crawl over.
They were destroying them with that stuff.
Hot tar would be a real negative experience.
So they started to build some stone throwing machines to break the walls, but like there was like pure North Korea missile launch. It was not going anywhere. So then they started to. This was actually kind of sick. They would get these really light ladders and they would set up like distractions on one part of the thing, so that like people started, and then they put up another ladder real quick and start kind of going over and fucking them up. So that was.
I like that walls worked for a long time,
dude. They were really. I mean, you'd have
walls was just like, all right, we can't beat these guys.
It was over the wall.
They've got a wall,
but if you get a full blockade, you could starve them to death. Yeah, that's what a lot of people. That's like kind of like that was the most. It's pretty much all they try to do the whole time.
Yeah, siege.
So they're doing that. You know, they're trying to like sneak in and do all that. It was like they were kind of making some headway, but not really. And a lot of the times, the dudes who were like launching these like ladder attacks, like you were saying, you were getting. Oh no, that's what they were doing. They started trying to go. So they had the ladders to go up and create a distraction, and then they'd run in and try to like sneak in and kind of disturb parts of the wall by hand. And meanwhile, they were getting their arrows at them, rocks dropped on them, and boiling oil to like just try to like dent the land or dent the whatchamacallit, the walls and fuck them up. And the whole time they would put like these wooden timber shields over them. So that was the thing they were doing. I'm sorry. They would have one guy putting a ladder up to distract, and then they had this big wooden thing they'd kind of like sneak in under and try to like fuck the wall up, and they would just be dropping rocks and boiling oil on you. So the one they built was called the Fox. That was the one that kind of blocked the oil. So like if we have this wooden thing, it'll just kind of like go off a thing. So they 20 dudes were under it, and it collapsed on them and crushed them. So that was the northern guys, and the southern French guys made a sturdier, like big wooden shield, and they actually started a siege mine where that you start to dig underneath the walls. So like, fuck it, we'll go under the walls. If we can't go over, if we can't break the walls, we'll do a siege mine. And what they would do is that you would dig a hole and then light a fire because you wanted to like find their like underpinnings and burn them out, and then see like if you could get a bunch of earth out from under the walls would part of the walls would crumble. So they go in on June 1st, 1097. They set up their siege mine. They burn their wood, and a section of like the wall actually collapsed in the bottom. They got like a little bit of an opening. The Turks fixed it in one day, bro.
Son of a bitch.
No further progress was made.
Damn it.
No further progress was made. So then the Crusaders chilled for 2 weeks, just being like, I don't know, what do you want to do? But dude, Alexius had been sitting there chilling in the Ascian Lake. No one knew he was there. Small Navy fleet there. Just waiting here's the west of the city. He'd been kind of watching, observing the siege, kind of like, all right, not too bad. He also sent his top eunuch general, Tacitus, who also had his nose sliced off and wore a golden replica. So he had a eunuch with no nose, no dong. who he was like, you go down there and advise the troops and like kind of help these guys. Damn. I'm going to chill up here. And then Alexius. So
he had a complete freak show. He had a they.
Dude, he had a full fucking they. He had
a complete they.
He had an absolute creature, dude.
One of the OG theys.
Yep. He had an
like, sir, what do we do? Actually.
Tacitus. So he sends Tacitus down, but these guys would see him and be like, fuck this dude. He was mythical.
That guy's awesome.
Mythical. So then June 18th, Alexius dispatched a secret flotilla, which is a sick word, of of ships to cut Nicaea off. So he completed the blockade. So now they can actually do the
now they're going to start getting hungry.
Yep. So then as the city gets kind of fully constricted, the Franks launched another land attack on the Turks, and the Turks were like, we give up. They put up the ladders again. Uncle. Yeah. So then the emperor, Alexius comes, meets with the French knights, and decides that Antioch is the next target. And he also goes, you guys can keep Tacitus and a small force of Byzantine troops. So Nicaea fell. They took Nicaea in, a few months. And he also kind of like, he sent the Tacitus and his bros nice. And he was like, that's when he started telling them like, dude, this is how you're going to have to cross now like a large strip of desert to go to Constantinople. Or no, Antioch. He's like, you're going to have to cross like some pretty brutal terrain. Here's how you do it. And like, here's what you do. So that's the start of crossing the Asia Minor. So these guys are all like nice. They're pumped on themselves. So they're still wrestling with a lack of centralized leadership because they're all trying to vie for like who's the top guy, and nobody really got the total glory because none of the Frenchmen were really successful. Southern French were kind of like high on their hog. The Northern guys were like, they stink this whole time. Yeah. They don't do anything. So the French guys are kind of like, this is nice, but really it was Alexius who came and turned the tides of the war. So that's kind of the big deal right now. It's like, how can we stay as one unified force? And also crossing Asia Minor, they're trying to figure out, they're like, if we stay in one cohesive force, it'll take us forever to cross. Cause I guess it was a kind of like a narrow, there's parts of the roads that were kind of narrow. So they were like, either we're going to split into a bunch of little forces and move quickly, or stay in one big blob of people, which will take too long. So then they decided like, let's just split north and south. Half and half. Yeah. That way we're still pretty strong, but we're a little lighter on the feet. We can move. So Khalij Aslan, so they split up. They're like, all right, let's start walking crossing the Asia Minor. The defeated Khalij amasses an army, and he laid in wait for it. Like he's like, I'm gonna fuck these guys up when I see them, because they retreated back and they kind of like hung back there. So the first guys to come were the Northerners, and they did that Seljuk Turk warfare where they would encircle.
Just ride around. Yep. Shoot bows and arrows.
That's
on
what
your
they
horses.
did. Dude, so they circled the Crusaders, and the Crusaders have no fucking clue what's going on. So some of them start to break rank and flee. But I guess Bohemond was with them as well. He was from the southern thing. So Bohemond and Robert somehow got all of their forces to hold their ground in the middle of the siege. They were like, dude, stand your ground. And they just just set up like a little makeshift defensive camp. So they're just getting pelted with arrows for hours, getting pelted. And the only thing they did to boost morale, they did a whisper down the lane, and they went, stand together, brothers in Christ. And they all just did they said, stand fast together, trusting in Christ and the victory of the Holy Cross. Today, may we all gain much booty. That was the thing. That was the thing. They went, may all gain much booty.
And it was like, Baldwin's mom's a slut.
So then they have this like makeshift kind of defensive camp. The Turks break the ranks and just start fucking going through, killing men, women, and children. And then this is when women started offering themselves up to the fucking Turks. Fully being like, these are like highborn noble wives being like, just take me. I'm like a princess. I'm a European. And they were like, come fuck me. Basically being like giving up the pussy. Yeah. They did the honeypot. The bros still held it down despite all of this stuff of like their kids dying, women just being
women immediately being like, well, things are going bad. I should probably fuck the guys who are winning.
Turncoats, yeah.
Disgusting.
Turncoats, dude. So but then the southern force eventually arrives 5 hours into the Turks breaking ranks, and it's just a fucking melee. Southern forces arrive and repel the Turks. You're dealing with 4,000 Christians dead, 3,000 Turks died. And that like makes you in that little like quick little surprise attack. Khalij gives up at this point. because it was technically a loss for the Turks since they were the ones who had to retreat. So the Christians, after that battle, that was like their last like military thing that like they had to go through. So now they get to pass through Anatolia for a 3-month march. This is the summer of 1097. So after they do that, they get hit with starvation and disease. They actually don't have any water. So 500 people died, along with a bunch of oxen, mules, and horses. And then there's dudes walking around with their mouth open trying to catch the mist. And finally, after, however long it took, they found a river and a bunch more people died from drinking too much water. People and animals pigged out on the water and died. And there was another thing too. They went into like extensive detail over how many like oxes and mules and horses died. That was like they almost seemed more concerned about it than people, because they were like, dude, it was like losing your whip, dude. These knights had to start walking. They were like, those boots were not made for walking, dude.
They got all that fucking armor and shit.
Yeah. So that kind of fucked them up. Also, at some point during this journey, Godfrey gets attacked by a bear and lives.
Fucking bear attacked him.
This is just to get to the other place.
Yeah.
Baldwin breaks off and heads. He went east towards Syria, and he wants to set. He was like, "Fuck you guys, I'm out. I'm setting up my own lordship." But they would be like, "We're also gonna." He's like, "I'm gonna help."
Something funny?
What?
8 million horses died in World War I.
Really?
That seems high.
Yeah. I'd have to see the pictures.
I think they're lying.
I'd have to see I mean, they do say practice skepticism to everything you hear.
When I hear that 8 million horses died, I go, that's a lot of horses.
That's the scientist in me. I just go, how many of those guys?
Too many.
And they did what? I need proof. I'm a scientist.
Yeah. Me. I'm sorry.
So this guy, Baldwin, breaks off and he goes, look, I'm going to go check out these other places and set up like my own cities just so I can really help you guys.
Yeah.
So I'm
looking out for you guys.
And he said he was going down to free Armenian Christians from the Turks. So he goes and he starts fucking up like Turkish villages. And the Armenian ruler, his name is Thoros, invites Baldwin to just join with him. And he's like so pumped on Baldwin. He's like, he adopts him as a son. They did this weird like ceremony where they both put on one shirt together. It's like, that's to signify. Yeah, Baldwin is like, gay. And then months later, the king was suspiciously murdered, and Baldwin just completely took the whole place over.
What the fuck happened to him? Anyway,
Baldwin,
I'll take over.
He was like, yeah, dude, I'll be your son, and just fucking murdered the guy.
Yeah.
So then he takes control of this like weird kingdom in Armenia, and he was the very first one to start a Latin state of his own in the east. It was named Idea or something. So autumn 1097, the armies of the Crusades regroup in Syria. They're not doing well, and now they have to capture Antioch. So the first one was kind of like, yeah, this is cool. Now they're like genuinely really fucked up.
Yeah, they're on fumes.
They're definitely on fumes.
They're dying.
One of their boys broke off and absolutely came up, which kind of sucks.
Yeah.
Broke off, and he's like now the king of Armenia. Also, that's tough. That's a tough condition. So Antioch was nestled between the Orontes River and the foot of 2 different mountains. I think the Romans had actually built it. So it was a 3-mile wall, 60 feet high with 60 towers. That's fuck. I mean, the first one was 30 feet. This is 60 feet high. So, but the thing is, and this is what kind of gave them the first Crusades, the Turkish leadership was like, it was nothing but brats. It was all spoiled brats, and they were constantly having power struggles between them. So the city of Antioch was being torn apart by a civil war between 2 brothers. And they also, for some reason, only had 500 soldiers in the city, which was enough to man the defenses.
The walls of Antioch are fucking cool looking.
It was the Romans, bro. The Romans fucking fortified it. And it just sat there for, however long. And they only had 500 soldiers inside of the walls. So that wasn't, but it was enough to man the defenses, but it was kind of like, it's not the best if they get in there. So there were 6 gates. The Latins set up another partial blockade because they could only do 3 of the 6 gates of the city, and then did the same thing where they try to launch light skirmishes, and they started doing psyops too. The same shit where they were like trying to catapult dead bodies into the walls. So after the first small skirmish, they were like going up, killing people, getting knocked off the ladders or whatever. They took 100 dead Muslims, piked their heads like usual. And at night, the Muslims snuck out to bury the dead people that were up on like the pikes and take their bodies. And the Crusaders noticed this, dug the bodies up, defiled the corpses, and then the Turks got very sad. And then again, the Muslims do a thing of killing Antioch Christians and hanging them over the walls and like threw their heads over with catapults at the Crusaders. The Crusaders get pissed off. And then it's wintertime. And the bros start freezing, dude. So they don't have any food. Yeah, they don't have any food. And like, I think 1 out of 5 of the Crusaders died this winter of 1098. So now we're in January, dude. People are eating dogs and rats, animal skins and seeds and grains found in manure. And they're trying to figure out why God is punishing them. You know, because they're like, they also had like a religious leader. So now that like 1 in 5 people are dying of starvation, they go to the bishop and they're kind of like, dude, what the fuck? Like, make sense of this. Is bullshit. I think it's your fault. And the bishop literally goes and prays on it. And he goes, guys, it's the women.
It's not my fault.
He says the women. He literally came to the Crusaders and goes, these women are fucking sinning. So the women have to be, you got to send all your wives back. These guys got to get the fuck out of here. They're fucking it up for everybody. So, you know, and some people, obviously there's dudes start to desert. People are like, this is bullshit. Peter the Hermit tries to run away. And they catch him by Tancred, by the way. Tancred catches Peter the Hermit and he goes, dude, get the fuck back here. They drag his ass back. They didn't let him desert, which kind of bullshit on
Peter Hermit's
PDH.
A bitch.
He's a total fucking pussy. So they lead 2 separate, the 2 Muslim forces attack them as well during the winter, but the Muslims are repelled. So that kind of rules. Spring 1098, food and resources arrive. I think the British actually sent them. So they send English ships with like weapons and all kinds of materials so they can build proper siege weapons. April 1098, the city is okay. So the city, they cut even more doors off. They cut more gates off to the city. And they also had some more like support come, and eventually, but then so they're like, all right, we're going to go pretty good. Oh no, they had the Shiites rolled up, and the Shiites were like, yo, they just came and like checked them out and were like, we got you if you need us, because that actually worked pretty well.
Yeah.
People say the Franks were barbarians, but they did enough stuff to like send people down, talk to the Shiites, because there was that Sunni Shiite kind of divide. So the Shiites were kind of like, yeah, we'll ride with you guys. Now they're pumped, but then they hear that the Sultan of Baghdad is sending a large force of Antioch, 40,000 Syrian and Mesopotamian troops, which would outnumber the surviving French 2-1. So they catch that news and they literally go, oh, shit.
We gotta hurry.
So they set up an emergency council. So Bohema devises a pretty nasty plan, because they're like, now it's like they got to get within the walls of the city or they're going to die. So he tells the council of all the other noblemen, he goes, look, what if one of us devises a plan to actually get into the city and like takes it over, could we just say that it's that person's city?
Keepsies.
Yeah, it was Keepsies. Yeah. He calls Keepsies. He's like, whoever
does it.
I'm not saying it's me, but like, would you guys be cool with that? And they were so desperate. They're like, yeah, dude, for sure. So Bohema goes, well, now that we've made that deal, I actually have a man. He's got a man on the inside of the city, and he goes, he'll let us inside of the city.
He's gonna open the door.
We don't got to. He'll just let us in.
Like, damn, that's a good plan.
It was really nasty, dude.
Yeah, I could have had these doors open the whole time, but
actually, they did have to do a wall, but he was like, I'll have a designated spot we can just get over stealthily, no problem. So a few nights later, this is what a beast Bohema is too, or Bohema. He doesn't go over himself either. So he gets a small force of dudes one night. Because, dude, if they got caught, they're decimated.
Yeah.
He sends a small force. They put a ladder up against an unmanned section of the wall that dude basically told him, like, this is where it's good. And they had his boy, the guy, the inside man, was waiting there to, like, receive him. So they a small force goes in, sneaks up on tower guards, is, like, stabbing them, killing them. And then fucking Bohema gets a signal, blasts a bugle, and then sends a bunch of more. He's like, just go. Yeah. Sends a bunch of dudes over the wall, and they're all doing the God wills it scream. Yes. God wills it, and they're going over. And then the Christians living in Antioch, like, saw what was going on. They rose up. So dude, they go in and they literally slaughtered all of them while the sun rose. Slaughtered all the Muslim dudes in there. But there was a citadel on top of the mountain that remained occupied by the ruler of Antioch. So that dude just kind of sat there in like an untouchable fortress at the very top of a mountain for the time being, and was like, fuck. The next day, Kerboga's 40,000. What time are we at? We're at 1:13. We'll pause. We'll do part two.
What happens?
You want to know?
Yeah.
Sick. The next day, Kerboga's 40,000 troops. That next day, 40,000 bros roll up, and they surround the city. So now they were hoping the Byzantine Empire would come and save them. But there was a deserter from the French army when shit got really bad. There were a lot of people deserting. He ran into Alexius and was like, "Yo, we're fucked. They're all gonna die. Don't even waste your time over there." So Alexius abandoned them, and having no idea the fortunes changed like overnight, real quick. So this is June 10th, 1098. Corboga, whatever his name is, Corboga pours in with all of his forces, and he's doing wave after wave for 4 days as Bohemond resists at the eastern walls. And again, more people are starting to desert, but then Bohemond barricades the gates, and he's like, "You guys, we're killing anyone who tries to leave.
Yeah,
fuck this." June 14th, Corboga circles the camp, and he's really starving them out, and it works really well. So the Crusaders start eating leather straps and like all kinds of weird weeds and shrubs. More people are dying. Morale's at like an all-time fucking low.
Yeah.
So then that night, a small group of French people led by a peasant visionary, Peter Bartholomew. This is kind of like a Peter the Hermit type. He claimed that a ghost of St. Andrew revealed to him that the spear that pierced Jesus' side was buried in St. Peter's Basilica. So then that day he convinced a bunch of people to go dig in this basilica for hours. And they finally found a small shard of metal that they were like,
"This has got to be it.
We found it. Like, we got it." So then Raymond of Toulouse, he was the guy, he was like the head noble on this mission. So he bent down and kissed it. And this was kind of like his thing now. Cause he was like, "I'm the nobleman. My mystic guy was the one who found it." So his stock starts rising big time. Because
like, I have the thing that stabbed Jesus.
Yeah. So it's really, the story of this is actually, I'll end with the story of this, which is very funny. So the troops get kind of electrified. They're showing this relic they found. They're like, "Okay, we're going to turn this around. The girls left. The bishop was right. This fucking rules." But also they didn't do anything right away. So they wait 2 weeks. Then the French forces are going like, "Dude, we're definitely going to die in here. We need to launch just a suicide mission on Corboga and all of his forces. Like, maybe we can kind of fuck him up and then ask for terms." Basically what they did in that World War I movie. He's like, if we just go nuts, maybe he'll be like, all right. Like, honorable surrender. So I think though they first send out terms, Corboga goes, "No, like, I'm going to kill you. You guys are dead." So June 28th, the Crusaders are like, "Fuck, man, fuck." It's like, we got to get out of here and we got to do a death march and attack those guys and just go out like men. So Corboga's kind of camp. He has a perimeter surrounding the city, starving them. He has all of his forces drawn back. And Corboga hears it, like, they open the gates and they're going mad dog. And he could have sent all of his forces in and crushed them instantaneously. But he hesitated because he goes, "I kind of want them to come all the way out. Yeah. So then I can, like, I don't want them running back to the city and shutting the gates again." He's like, "I want to take them out once and for all." He got impatient. So he's waiting. And it's like they start smashing because they're all charged up with the relic. They start smashing through the lines that were, like, I guess, encircling them. Some guy just come outside. So they smash through the ranks that are encircling them. And the Muslim forces start kind of panicking. So they retreat. And then Corboga goes, "Fuck it, send all my forces." So the two Muslim forces clash into each other because they're retreating into like an attacking force. They start bumping into each other and they're like, "What the fuck's going on?" Everyone runs away. And Corboga just goes, he's so embarrassed that he kind of hesitated and fucked it up that he just fucking flees. They all just left. He was like, "This is bullshit."
Fleeing is great. Be like, "You know what? Fuck this. Fuck, I fucked up, dude. Let's get the fuck out of here."
So yeah, he left in shame, dude. He retreated. The Crusaders went, and then they went and took the Citadel. So now they're like, "All right, cool. We have time." They climbed that mountain. They got that guy out there and like cut his head off, whatever. So his name was Raymond of Aguilé. That was the guy. That was the nobleman who paraded the relic around. Now everyone's like, "Dude, Raymond's the man." So he's en route now to be the dude to like control all the stuff. But there was still, I think Raymond of Toulouse, the old guy, was kind of like, "Nah, bro, I'm the man." So now there's this whole thing that happens where they're sitting in the city and they're like, I think Raymond of Toulouse is like, "I'm going to keep this city. Fuck this. Fuck Alexius. I did it. He never came and helped us." And they had like a big fight about that. Who's going to control the city? But then like the other soldiers were like, "Yo, you're messing up my fucking religious points. We got to march on to the next city."
Yeah.
And they wanted Jerusalem, but they had to go to another. City that was like Alexius' city to take that too. So they're chilling there. They're figuring stuff out, and eventually, the guy, I think Raymond of Aguilé, starts kind of doing his own little conquest of little cities because they're all following him.
Yeah.
And then he does like greedy stuff of like taking cities, and then they start threatening like, "We're going to kill you." So they start turning on him. So he's using the guy Peter Bartholomew to kind of keep him in line as like the spiritual advisor.
Yeah.
Because they're all pumped on the relic. But then they start figuring out like, dude, this Aguilera guy is kind of a dickhead. And eventually he's still doing well though. They like him. But there was a new, so the bishop dies. The guy who told all the girls go home.
All the pussy.
He dies. And then Peter Bartholomew starts going like, I had a vision, because that guy was like, Peter Bartholomew was full of shit. Fuck that. Don't listen to him. But there was a big divide in the camp. And that guy dies. So Peter Bartholomew goes, oh my God, I had a dream last night. And that fucking bishop who used to hate me was actually like really repentant. He's in hell right now. He's sorry for what he said about me. And they were like, holy shit, this dude's the man.
Yeah.
And then eventually this guy Aguile's rising. It's looking good for him. But Peter Bartholomew wouldn't chill. And he was like, the Lord told me we got to kill like 2,000 of our own men. And so now the soldiers are like, fuck this guy. Fuck this guy. And they're like, this guy's a fraud. So now they're like, everything's good. They don't know what's going on. This is before they attacked the other city. And so they're like, dude, bullshit. That guy's full of shit. So Peter Bartholomew's like, dude, I'll do a trial by fire. If I get burnt, obviously I'm a liar, but the Lord will save me. So they do like I think it was like I had notes on my phone about it, but it was like a 40-foot long gauntlet of like 11-foot high flames. And he was like, I'll walk through it. When I come out unscathed, we're going to kill like the thousands of people that I think are being kind of like sinful. So apparently he fucking runs through it as fast as he can, screaming. he gets out of the other side and they just beat the shit out of him and kill him. And then there were some people who claimed like he actually was fine, but they kicked his ass. But people were like, dude, fuck him. He came out of it screaming. We beat him to death. And then the guy, Raymore of Aguilera, his political shit just fucking dropped off and you never hear about him ever again. And then I think they're going now they were going to do another city, but because the people are getting so pissed off about people squabbling about cities, I think now they're heading to Jerusalem after Antioch. And that'll be the final battle, which is just as nasty. Yeah.
Part 2.
Just as nasty.
Matt, that was great.
Thank you, dude.
That was fun.
But yeah, dude, the Crusades are the best. The Firewalk is so fucking
Firewalk's
funny.
hilarious. Dude, guys, I'm going to come out of this unscathed. All right, here we go.
Kill me. Fucking kill me.
Fucking beat his ass, dude.
They just all close in on him. All the dudes are like, you should kill him. They just waited for him. We're like, fucking beat his ass.
He died. Nice.
Crusades, dude.
Crusades Part 2.
Wow.
Coming soon.
Yeah.
Just in time. I gotta drop some.
But the whole point of the Economist thing was that the best, like this is like the key information. I'm like, this stuff is bullshit, dude.
Yeah, well, who the fuck reads The Economist?
True. Fair point.
Just what cheese dick, especially our age, is reading that.
True.
No one you want to talk to.
There is, but the cool thing is there are like, dude, there was a thing about like how hipsters are hitting the Middle East now. That was actually pretty. That was in.
Hipsters are doing what?
There's hipsters. The hipsters are spreading now.
Oh, you mean being a hipster? I thought you meant hipsters from New York are going to fucking the Middle East.
No.
What?
No. Only if they work for Vice. But
True.
No, there's a spreading phenomenon right now of people who go and get like educated abroad and come back to like I think it was even like in Sudan and like in Afghanistan. Well, they'll open like fancy coffee shops, and there was dudes who were in like
they do love coffee over there.
Well, it's just funny to me that the Taliban's eventually going to encounter hipsters and be like, what the fuck? Because there's dudes who are getting like their beards like neatly manicured out there and getting like cool tattoos. And you're not allowed to get tattoos. You're not allowed to get tattoos out there. So, dude, if we pull the troops out, Afghani hipsters are about to get fucked up, dude.
They are going to get crushed. They're just going to make an amendment to Sharia law to be like, also, you can't be cool. You can't be fucking cool.
They're pushing, dude.
That's probably in Sharia law.
That's moving. The thing of hipsterism is moving globally now. Just being like, and they were saying there's like a certain, if you give it like an unfinished or like a cool wood look, and that's like the universal sign of like, we care about stuff here.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's pretty funny that thinking of Afghani hipsters makes me laugh. Thinking of hipsters in the suburbs makes me kind of chuckle. Did you ever see? There's like always lone hipsters out there, but you think about someone taken out to Afghanistan, and be like, actually, dude, I kind of like the beginning of the Quran. Like, all right, dude.
Yeah, the early stuff in the Quran was pretty sad. And then just
Quran actually never condemned slavery. Does the Bible condemn slavery? I was reading a thing today.
I think
not in The Economist. It was a different.
I think the New Testament probably does, but
I think the New Testament.
Old Testament had some rules on slavery.
Did it?
Yeah. How to handle business.
How to handle.
Yeah.
Well, dude, I was reading about
how to be gangster.
How to be.
Yeah, I was that book I was reading about debt was talking about like how they used to just use basically women as like women were the first form of currency. You would just get chicks, and they were talking about in Africa and how like they were just like it wasn't even there were slaves, but there were more so like this idea of pawns. Like you would have a pawn. So like if somebody killed your brother, you'd be like, dude, you'd have a couple options but you could just be like, all right, dude, you got to give me your sister. We're never going to be even, Steven.
Yeah.
But your sister's going to be my pawn now. So then like your sister would have kids, and then all of her kids become your pawns. So they're not like you don't like own them really, but like they're people you get to trade in the event of like if you do something fucked up, if you have a bunch of pawns.
Yeah, if you get a DUI, you can be like, yo, here's my nephew.
Yeah, if you're drunk and you
Sorry
just
about
like
this.
cut some dude's head off on accident, and you can just be like, yo, my bad. But the problem is if you cut a dude's head off, then the brother could. So with the sister you give him, he can then turn her into a ghost wife, where he'll cream pie the sister you give him, and then she'll bear a kid, and everyone tells the kid in the village is like, oh yeah, your dad's a ghost, and he was the one who cream pied your mom, and you kind of have to go avenge his death and find the guy who gave your mom basically and kill her brother. It's pretty sick. But they could get into they get into that. They get into village wives, which might be the funniest fucking thing in the world.
Yeah.
So like
you talked about this.
I didn't get into detail about it. They talked about
Did you tell me about the village wife?
I told you about village wives.
All right.
So they would have the elders. So basically, when you came up, when you're a young kid in these villages, I think it was like Calabar around that area, right? I think Nigeria. My geography is getting off the hook. I'm not being Calabar.
I don't know if I've even heard of Calabar.
It's a port city around. It's west coast of Africa. Dude, I'm not trying to step on geography.
You can't. You can't.
But they were talking about how instead of money, the whole point of the book is like how did the concept of money originate? And this one society, what they did, you had to give people cloths or copper bars. So like when you came up, you would just have these cloths that people could use and turn into clothes. But if like say you needed something from someone who was older, you'd have to. There's these little like rituals you'd constantly be giving the older people cloths, and that was like so. It was like imagine your communion money.
Yeah.
But you got communion, you had to pay all the old people you knew. So what happens is eventually all the old people have all the shit. If you have stuff, then you can get wives. So like all the dudes are fucking incels basically. Because like your dad would have like 9 wives. If you like coveted them, it was like a bet you weren't allowed to do that. It was
Can't
fucked
covet.
up. But so what happened is they would have these old dudes. They'd all have like 5 wives, and then dudes would have nothing because the whole society was built around giving your elders like all of your shit basically. So like the dudes would plan seductions. So like if you're a dude, you would walk around and just tell stories about how you're gonna like fuck your uncle's wife.
Nice. That hasn't left us at all.
So you'd have to tell you.
They'd go around and basically verbalize Pornhubs. They'd be like, yo. She's going to get stuck in the mud down by the river.
But then if you got caught seducing, you would have to then pay more cloths, and then like you might have to fork a pawn. Like, dude, it's so fucking funny. But the whole thing culminates in like they call this a human economy, where people are more or less the currency. And then they say like commercial economies like Europeans came down with like so many fucking cloths, so many copper bars. And they're like, you guys want some of this shit? They're like, all right, you can sell it, but you got to give us like some of your pawns, some of your children, and we'll hold them as collateral, and then you can go sell it. And they would get people deep into debt and be like, go get us some fucking slaves. And they'd be like, otherwise you're fucked. We're going to take you and your whole family. Yeah. So that they started kind of doing that all through the thing. And, I'm listening to this being like, oh, African people sold slaves. Oh my God. I can't believe he's talking about this. Oh my God. White people aren't that bad. And then the next chapter is literally how like Ireland was all just a purely slave economy. Because they said the Irish were slaves. It was cattle and women in medieval Ireland that were the forms of currency. You'd have to get sisters, dude. And you're like, dude, I have so many sisters. I'm fucking rich. And you would just trade them away and sell them. It was 3 cattle were worth, I think, a woman I think 3 women are worth 1 cat. Something crazy, dude. But yeah, that was making me laugh. I was on my high horse, like, well, wasn't all white people doing it? And then I was just like, oh, fuck.
Yeah.
Ireland had fucking.
Yeah, it turns out everybody was bad historically.
Yeah, Ireland had.
Watch out.
But the analogy they said, it'd be like if like aliens came and were just like, yo, we'll give you $1 million, just go grab me someone. It's like, would you deny it? Would you not do it? It's like aliens with weapons you couldn't even fathom just hit you with like, yo, you want $1 million right now?
Yeah.
Go grab that dude. So people are like, oh, it's like pretty compelling. But yeah, it was dude, that shit was pumping me up, dude. The idea of ghost wives, the village. Oh, then the whole thing was, so they had these so these young dudes were just planning seductions, dude. They're just pickup artists, dude. They're out there trying to.
What type of seductions? Did they give you any examples, or what did you have in mind?
Well,
or like, what would you do?
I don't know.
How would you seduce your aunt?
I think you'd have to like hoard some cloths first of all. You'd have
Tell you
to,
how
like,
you could seduce mine.
How?
Booze.
Oh yeah. Oh well, that was.
That was a pretty easy one.
I'm sure you could definitely apply them to something, but the thing, I think you'd have to get like delicacies. You'd have to like go catch like a rare animal and be like, "No, did you ever try that?"
Check this out.
But they also
spring the trap.
Yeah, I mean kidnappings were pretty common. That was like a big thing. Like if you couldn't seduce your aunt, then you could go kidnap like a woman from like a rival village. But so like the young dudes would go to like the head dude and be like on like a compound and be like, "Yo, we're dying. We need some pussy." And they're like, "Go fucking raid a village, you bitch. Go steal someone's daughter." And they'd be like, "All right." So they would petition like, "All right, you got it. Go ahead and do this." And then they would go, or they would raid a village and steal somebody, or like if somebody was getting as a pawn getting thrown into a marriage they didn't want to do, they could run from their village and claim asylum, and then they were a village wife. That's what I was talking about.
Yes.
So the young dudes, basically the young dudes, if they like pleaded enough, they could all go in and split a wife. So they could build a crash pad, go steal a lady from a village, and then be like, you're the village wife, and they were just all just like 14 dudes just be fucking like boning this chick, and then they would go out during the day and be like, "Man, I love our wife so much." They would all go try to like hunt her the coolest stuff, and they'd all compete for like the eventually.
So it was like The Bachelor.
It literally was The Bachelor, dude.
Yeah.
It was The Bachelorette.
Pardon me.
Yeah, so they would go out and be like, "Oh, I love you so much. Here's this thing," and dude, it was really funny, man.
That is
think
funny.
about just you and all your boys with a crash pad and one
she's
wife.
The best.
Dude, we love her, dude. Our wife is so.
I mean, that would
beautiful.
turn into murder.
Well, hence the need for
instantly.
hence the need for pawns.
Yeah.
So then say you they were basically saying the one anthropologist was like, just telling them how like
dude,
they
think about like dudes pussy bragging.
Oh, dude.
Like, yo, I fucked our wife so good last night. They're like, all right, man, just take it easy.
It was just 4 dudes in the woods being like, "She loves me more than you," and they'd be like, "She loves me the most."
Damn.
But yeah, man, dude, that was making just having the village wife, and then I think the kids were then the responsibility of the entire village, and blah blah blah. So, but yeah, dude, pawn ship rules. We gotta get back into a pawn setup. It's not slavery. It's just like you get pawns, dude. You get pawns.
What do you think we could get for Noah?
As a pawn?
Yeah.
Yeah, dudes don't really fetch a high value. No, you got any sisters?
I have a younger sister.
There we go.
How old?
No, we're just asking for economic,
just for economic
just for
purposes.
human economy
What's
purposes.
your Instagram? Don't say her Instagram.
Don't, yeah,
Please
absolutely
don't.
not.
Please don't.
Yeah, like I said, yeah, sister, good. But yeah, dudes aren't bad. It all depends. The other thing too is you can get a bunch of dudes, and if you want like a sick entourage, that's the other thing too. You get a bunch of pawns, or you get slaves, and you wouldn't make them work or anything. But yo, I'm going to the market today. You guys gotta pump me up, dude.
It's not bad.
It was pretty tight.
Just get hype, man.
You hype, man, dude. You would just get an entourage of dudes who would be, you'd be like, "Come on, man, it's time for the market. Get hype on me, dude." like I kind of miss my family. Like, shut up, dude. Come on. But yeah, dude, that shit was making me laugh so fucking hard.
This is something that I experienced. I watched Children of Men. That movie.
Yeah.
But in that movie, there's a scene where a bomb goes off and he's got ring in his ears, and the lady's like, "That noise you're hearing is a frequency that your ears will never be able to produce again. Whenever you have a ringing in your ear, that's what that is." And I remember one time in a car, a dude told me that. I was like, "Yeah, my fucking ears ringing." He's like, "Yeah, do you know what that is?" And he just regurgitated a line from Children of Men. You ever hear somebody give you a fact from a movie and then you see the movie later and you're like, "Oh, that's where he fucking."
No,
I've been believing this.
I think so. Yeah.
Like in the movie Contagion, they're like, the average person touches their face once every fucking 20 seconds. Mm-hmm. I've heard people repeat that.
Is it true?
There's just I don't know, but there's just certain like Wes was the one, by the way, Lemaire, who told me that. We were in the car and he said that, and I was like, "Damn, that's a fucking interesting fact." And then a decade later, I'm watching a movie at 2 a.m. like, that fucking idiot. I believed it. I believed this.
So wait, the thing in the movie was from a flashbang.
Yeah, it was just a grenade went off and he had a ringing in his ear.
Yeah.
And the lady was like, "That ringing is the last time you'll ever hear that frequency. That's
And
your
you
eardrum."
were just having a.
And I would just,
Van
we were
Gogh.
just driving. And I was like, "Damn, I can hear it. There's like a ringing in my ear."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course you'll hear that again. What the fuck?
I don't know what was going on there, but I believed it.
True.
He said it with some conviction.
He's like, you'll never hear that exact.
He's like, that's just a certain frequency that your ear won't be able to pick up again because of that buzz. Now, I don't know if that's true or not, but I know that he got the exact line from Children of Men.
Yeah, but the flashbang.
Whether or not Children of Men is telling the truth, I'm not sure.
I mean, the flashbang makes sense because it's so fucking loud that it probably damages your hearing a little bit, so you'll probably never be able to hear that again. So is that like the sound leaving your ear to like never return?
I'm not sure.
Huh.
I don't know the science of it because I think it's wrong.
I mean, I've definitely done that before where I've taken stuff from movies and just been like, let's roll.
Yeah, this is true.
Let's go.
Yeah.
100%.
But it's always funny when you finally see the movie years later and you're like,
son of a bitch.
I believe that. Like, there's certain things will tell me, people will say something or say, like, it'll just stay with me forever.
Mm-hmm.
Like, certain things will just always, like, I'll be doing something and every time I do something, I'll think of the same thing. It's crazy.
Real, like almost like a deja vu or like
not deja vu, just like an OCD type. Like every single time I play FIFA, I think of the first time my friend saw me playing FIFA and what he said. Every single time I play.
What did he say?
He was like, "Oh, the point of it, it's stupid. It makes no sense. There's no reason to remember this." But he was like, "Oh, the point of this is to drag the other team's defense out and then pass behind them." That's all he said. And now every single time I play FIFA, I think of where I was and when he said that. Pretty crazy.
How long do you think about it for?
1 second, and then I'm like, why the fuck am I still thinking about the same goddamn pointless quote?
That sounds torturous.
There's a lot of those. I have a lot of those.
Just things that pop up constantly?
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
No, it's,
who knows?
What you're describing, I have moments like that. I can't put them into words, but I'll just be doing a thing, and I'll have a thought that's just so stupid and pointless that I'll just go like,
fuck. Yeah.
Fuck. Yeah, I kind of know what you're talking
Tommy
about.
has that. Tommy, every time he puts his pants on, he thinks of you and me making fun of anybody that would roll the bottom of their jeans. Literally every time he gets ready in the morning, he's like, he'll say it to me if I'm there. He'll repeat what we said. He's like, can you imagine being the type of guy that would roll the bottom of his fucking jeans? And every time I'm like, I'm sorry.
Does he roll his? He wants to roll his
Yeah,
jeans?
he has the bottom of his jeans rolled.
So he rolls
every time
them.
he puts those pants on, he says that. Because he heard us making fun of that.
When did we make fun? I don't even remember.
That's what I say. I'm like, I don't know if that was us. He's like, it was you.
I'm pretty sure
It was you. And then now also whenever he puts cologne on, he does the same thing.
I mean, dude. Well,
we're like, who the fuck puts cologne on? And then one time, I'm sitting there playing FIFA, thinking about my dumb friend's quote, and then Tommy's putting cologne on, thinking of my dumb quote right behind me. He's like, can you imagine putting fucking cologne on? And I'm like, I'm sorry, dude. I didn't mean it.
Yeah, I went hard on cigarette smokers recently. I was like making a point.
Cigarette smoking rules.
I was talking about how they're most likely, if you have a company full of people and you're trying to figure out who complains the most, just look for people with cigarettes on them. At a job, cigarette smokers are the biggest complainers. Always. Always fucking every single time, every single company, every place I've ever been at. They go outside and they're like, every fucking 5 minutes, like,
every
where are they
cigarette
at?
is
Like,
a complaint.
I need to get a cigarette. It's like, dude, I just ate lunch like 4 minutes ago, man.
Yeah.
And
Dude,
I felt bad. I came down hard on cigarette smokers, but I was
that
making
office
a
job,
point.
the last job I had, the office job back home I had in
Yeah.
Harrisburg, worked for the state. And every state worker, first off, this lady was on my dick, dude. She would watch the clock when I would come in late I'd be like 5 minutes late.
That's miserable.
Because I came in with my sister who was higher up than her.
Yeah.
So my sister it didn't matter
So she
when she
hated-
got
yeah,
there.
yeah.
And I never said anything to my sister about, hey, I'm late, I'm getting in trouble. I was just like, I don't give a fuck at all.
Yeah.
And anyway, this lady, but then these dudes, they would just take cigarette breaks every hour. They would leave for 10 minutes.
Yeah.
I'd be like, what about them? They're like, they're allowed to do that. I was, I'm with you on the cigarette smoking.
Yeah, dude.
I needed to get a dip break. You
The
know,
fuck?
nobody gives you a dip
You
break.
can do that in the outro. They don't, dude.
They get mad if you even say it.
We go outside and just a little bit.
If you're like, yo, let me go dip.
I need a spittoon.
But that is what a crap is. A work crap.
Oh, a crab.
A crap at work with a dip in, dude. That's a good 45-minute crap.
Oh, I think
Surfing the web.
I thought you were talking about crabs.
What about
I
crab?
thought you called me King Crab. I was like, dude, I ain't a motherfucking
you
crab.
fucking crab-looking motherfucker.
Yo,
You're the
dude.
definition of a crab.
Come on, dude.
You Jeezy?
Dude, come on.
I'm more Gucci for real.
You think you're more Gucci, man?
I'm definitely more Gucci.
I didn't see Jeezy's performance at all.
You would have liked it. You strike me as more of a fan of Jeezy.
More of a Mr. 17.5.
What?
That's what Jeezy calls himself.
Mr. 17.5?
Yeah.
I didn't
It's
know.
like it's kind of a brag. It's a humble brag about how cheap he gets kilos of cocaine.
Oh, sick.
Yeah, 17.5.
He's a snowman, dude. You don't know anything about
he's up
pushing
to, he's
that
up to
weight.
his knees in the bricks, dude.
Probably. He's probably he's probably below his ankles at this point.
Well, it's just funny too how like two like hardened, like self-proclaimed like super gangsters had to kind of like pledge allegiance to like a governor before they
Oh, that was great.
Oh yeah, yes ma'am.
We talking verses.
Yeah, talking about the battle, dude.
Talking about the battle everybody saw, especially the whites.
Yeah, what
whites were all about it on Twitter.
Were they really?
I saw several whites posting like, "Yo, Jeezy." Like, shut the fuck up, dude.
Jesus Christ.
Did you see Gary Owens? I think somebody posted on the Reddit. Gary Owens was like, "Yo, I'm gonna need some Hennessy and a Black and Mild to watch this verses." It was like, "Whoa, dude, what are you doing?"
Yeah, that's fucking aggressive. Dude.
That's a strong one.
Yeah. Also, too,
Gary's
imagine convincing
fun.
yourself. Like, I'll be honest, no white people really like Hennessy. If you do, you're pretending. Stuff's disgusting. You ever have it?
No, I don't really. No, I'm sure I've had it.
I'm saying that because I try to like it because it looked cool. I was in high school. I was like, oh, cool, I have Hennessy. And I would drink it and be like, oh, my God, I'm going to throw the fuck up.
Yeah, I remember Hypnotic.
Hypnotic's actually not bad.
Hypnotic's just sugar, right?
Sweet, yeah. Hennessy's disgusting, dude. It's fucking...
I wouldn't say stuff like this.
It's disgusting. It's disgusting, dude.
What do you think I got in this fucking... in my plastic cup?
You have H-Rock in your cup?
I'm going to need a fucking Black and Mild to watch this Young Jeezy. Sure. I'm Gary Owen. Yo, did I tell you my idea for my special?
No.
Got a sick idea for a special.
What you got?
Don't disrespect. Fuck it. That's Hypnotic, dude.
Would you combine it with like an Incredible Hulk?
So... if I film a special, it's gonna have to be me. Obviously, no network's gonna be like Netflix isn't gonna be like, let's take a chance.
You could come out in favor of complicated corporate contracts and maybe snag the favor of comedy. I don't know, guys. I think it's pretty fair.
Yeah, true. But I was thinking about producing. Now this is just an idea. Should I just produce an all black special, like the whole audience is black, and I film it like?
And even you?
No, not blackface. But here was the idea: wear the Bernie Mac suit with my face airbrushed, but maybe airbrush a black face. Airbrush my own face, blackface, on my shirt. But like special would be incredible. Then like here's how I want to open it. Like the beginning of the special should be classic. Like, yo, everybody fucking doubted me. Nobody thought I could do something this special. And then come out and bomb. But also, more importantly, be like, yo, it goes down at the barbershop. Like that's how But then just go to the supercuts at the Walmart in Mechanicsburg and like sit there and like try to strike up conversation with like just some lady. Just be like, yo, you see fucking LeBron's hairline? Just some lady like, excuse me, sir? Nothing. Be like, yo, it goes down at the barbershop.
Oh, dude. The first fucking 15 minutes is usually in the waiting room just reading like Esquire. Like
trying to talk to people sitting there and be like, yo, you see this bullshit? Just some guy
like Muhammad Ali versus Joe Frazier.
Yeah, who you got?
Shut up. Yeah. Shut up. What was the most historic boxing match you've ever seen?
Yeah.
You're like, what? Excuse me, sir? You're like,
it's a good special.
That'd be awesome.
And then go out. There's some ideas I don't know if the public's ready for them.
I mean, if you dress up in the Bernie Mac clothes, that'd be aggressive. If you wore like jeans with a picture of Africa on them, and fucking
it's so funny. It'd almost be like, first off, everybody would know. It would be called very racist
for sure.
People wouldn't understand the literal art that I was creating, because that would be art. If I got out there and did like, y'all ever be eating motherfucking pussy? Just to people that were, and then like have the camera on the crowd of them being visually like.
The problem is you might crush.
If I crushed, it would be
if you had a Black and Mild and some H-Rock.
If I got Hennessy and Black and Mild,
you might get in your bag. That's a problem. You gotta watch out, dude. Because if you get in your bag and crush, then
if I get my bag and crush in a pair of jeans with Africa on them and my face airbrushed, I'd be the goat.
You would just become you'd be trapped in the bit. You'd be Andrew Dice Clay.
Andrew Dice Clay.
You'd be Randy.
You think Gary's trapped in the bit?
Big time, dude.
Gary Owens trapped in the. He's like, yo, I'm gonna be a fucking wigger for real, and then just trapped in it forever.
He is, dude.
Damn, that's tough.
100%.
Gary.
You got trapped. You might get trapped in the bit.
I never thought about Gary.
You'd be like Andrew Dice. You'd be 75 and be like, oh man, come on. You'd be like Andrew Dice Clay, dude.
Just trapped in the bit of a Bernie Mac, a white guy doing a Bernie Mac act. That was the rule, though.
I mean, reach out. You have mentors. have him, big dude. Take me under your wing.
Gary?
Yeah. Have him be your mentor, dude. Mentor-mentee relationship. That'd be beautiful, dude. He might be able to spin your. He might be able to do a PR spin. Like, come on, y'all. Come on, y'all.
It's a good idea for a special.
For sure. It'd be so you could film it yourself.
I would produce it. I'd produce it myself, dude.
How long? What would you fill? That's the question. What would you fill the whole?
Well,
thing
it depends how badly it goes, which I would. You can surmise it would go very poorly. If I was over the top, like, y'all know what it's like when it's eating pussy. The girl was on that time of the month. I still be going down on that shit, you know. And then like be like, what else do I have here? Like, right? Just look at my notes, like, what else do I want to talk about?
Yeah, that would be something that would
right.
go over people's heads to the point where they'd be like, "This is
This is just racist.
This is horrible."
Now, a close associate of mine had a good idea for the end of the show. I won't divulge his name because I don't know if the public's ready for this type of joking.
Sure.
But then to take out a dummy, a ventriloquist dummy, and have it say the N-word. But that end it. Like, don't say it. Like, cut it.
Mic drop.
Cut the credits immediately.
Before you even do it?
Right when it's about to say it.
Really?
Cut straight to credits. It's a good special.
So that would be fucking wild.
A half hour of that.
I mean,
Anyway.
you should just go all dummy then. You should just go all dummy the whole time and do all your stuff.
Just break out just be like, all right, y'all not feeling that? I got something for your ass. Break out a dummy. Just have it start talking shit.
Dude, that would
Anyway,
be if you went.
I don't know. I don't want to. For some reason, I know it's not insulting. I know I'm not trying to be insulting towards black people, but boy, that thing comes out pretty rough.
Dude, if you went to an all black room, like,
damn, it's funny.
It would be very funny to do. There's very funny things about like strictly black comedy that are really funny to make fun for sure.
Yes. Yeah. Can't
coming out of the gate swinging and be like, and now coming from a horrible debacle, like, what's that motherfucker?
Yeah.
It might not stick.
Yeah, but man,
Like, what a fucking
could it be funny?
What an insane movie!
I know it'd just be the funniest thing possible.
Yeah,
I don't know.
It would be pretty funny.
You
got to pay your homage. Dude, the reason Gary Owens can do it is because he pays respect to the culture. You have to go pay your homage.
I watched Kevin Hart has a new special, and it's crazy.
How was it?
It's just crazy. Just like him walking, it's in his own living room. It's cool. It's a cool idea, and obviously, I think Kevin Hart's great at stand-up. The last couple, he's starting to, he's too famous, so some of it kind of sucks. And he doesn't have anybody around him to be like, yo, that's fucking corny. Don't do that.
Yeah.
But like him walking down his hallway, and there's like pictures of comedians. He's like, the greats. I got like inspiration. It's like, dude, don't do that.
I wish I can get into that, man. I wish I could like give a fuck about stuff in general.
Yeah.
Be like, man, I'm surrounded by. But again, it's like it's kind of what breeds being like in multi-million-dollar stuff and sitting in meetings. Like, I'm in the meetings now. It's part of the journey. Blah blah blah.
Yeah.
So, that's why I don't do it. To be honest.
True.
But yeah,
I daydream about it.
Oh, what?
Everybody has that in them. I wish I could do that. I wish I could walk at the beginning of my special, point to like a picture of Louis, be like, "The fucking gods bless us."
True.
Like, not ironically, like,
dude, 100%. No, 100%.
picture of fucking
that's
Norm
true.
Macdonald, like inspiration, the Kings.
That is in
Keep
all.
walking.
That is in all of us. You're
Yeah.
right. You're right about that. That 100% is.
Yeah, that's why rap's popular. That's why every single person listens to rap. Like, yeah, I'm the fucking man.
Yeah, it does. It plugs you into the hero's journey, dude. It's like the whole thing is when you listen to it, you're like, yeah, dude, I'm grinding too. I'm gonna be great one day.
Yeah.
It's like, what do I have to do? It's like, just murder all of your enemies, and you're like, all right.
Sell dope to pregnant women. All right, fine, I will. And then all you have to do is be remorseful later.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's
well, all you gotta do
Catholicism
exactly.
and rap.
True.
Heard that.
Be bad, and then just
Say sorry.
yeah, be like, just eventually when you're 40, just wear glasses and start a podcast. Fucking Ti. Ti's been quiet, dude. What's he been up to?
I don't know.
I got pissed when he went at the cannon, and I was like, yo, whoa.
He talked shit on the
He came at
Cannon.
the set, dude. Yeah, he started talking about the cannon, and I was like, yo, whoa.
Why? What did he say about Cannon?
And I don't know. He was just like talking shit to Nick Cannon or something. He attacked somebody. He started, I got beef with Ti, dude.
Yeah.
Big time beef. He doesn't want to see me on the fucking on the throne, dude.
T.I. would fuck you
I
up.
would crush him, dude.
T.I. would beat your ass.
No, we wouldn't. If we both got to wear trench coats and go to the sit in King's
In
chairs.
Versus?
In Versus, that's what I'm talking about.
Oh,
First of all, I'd beat the fuck out of T.I. He weighs 120
T.I. would
pounds.
fuck you up.
You think T.I. would
Yes.
beat me up?
Yes.
He weighs like 110 pounds. You ever see him?
Matt,
Dude.
T.I. would tune you up, dude.
What? He's tiny, dude.
He's got that thing on him.
Dude, the government took all of his things.
The government couldn't take all
Dude,
of
he
T.I.'s
got caught
things.
with like 20 guns and didn't
He
go
got
to
caught
jail.
with 20 different things.
And didn't go to jail, dude. How? How, dude?
Yeah, baby.
The man was snitching, bro.
You think T.I.'s a snitch?
Yes, dude.
Yo, I wouldn't
Big-
put that on.
I'm putting it out
Don't
there.
put that on people's names.
Snitch
dude.
ass, dude. Snitch ass, dude.
Whoa, dude.
How do
We
you
almost
get-
had to put credits in there.
How do you get caught? What? How do you get caught with fucking 20 guns and not do any jail time?
He made a song with Justin Timberlake.
What do you mean?
Lemaire, say that dumb thing you just said into the
He
mic,
made a
please.
song with Justin Timberlake. That's
that
how he got out of jail. That's how he didn't go to jail. Anytime a black guy's about to go to jail, they make a song and they don't go to jail.
Give me another example.
R. Kelly before the first time.
okay,
when he,
I went to jail.
the first
Nice.
time when
Bill
he was-
Cosby.
Bill
Tino.
Cosby. No. He made a special. Netflix has it in the vault. They didn't put it.
What about Shine?
True. He didn't make enough money.
Wow.
I'm sorry.
Cut it.
Embarrassing.
Noah, scrub that out.
God, the show's fucking derailed.
It's over. Might as well just end it. Might as well stop forever.
Where are we at? Where are we at time wise? 1 hour.
So, but yeah, no.
But then again, I'm reading that book right now about the Manson murders. That guy was on Rogan who did the book about Manson murders and CIA. Apparently, Roman Polanski was quite a motherfucker, man. You know, his rape charges of 13-year-olds. Apparently, there's like, you know, this is according to like their like inner circle of friends, according to this other guy. But like there was like videos of him forcing his wife to have sex with other men and like all kinds of like wild shit. Like he would have orgies and like he would like fuck a chick wearing a dress, then make his wife wear the dress the next day and tell her like, yeah, I fucked a chick wearing this.
Are we just kink shaming now? What are we doing here?
I know. I don't think she was down. I don't think his wife was down with this.
Dude, they actually took that film reel as evidence, and then like a senior cop had to be like, dude, this is not evidence related to anything to the murder.
Yeah, that's what they said.
Fucked by another dude. Like,
That's what they said. They said the cop was like, dude, they're already like, you know, he's already having a tough time. You don't have to release this weird sex tape of him forcing his wife to have sex with another dude. But then you'll never know from her whether it was, again, maybe it was all master kink. These are actors and shit. So maybe it was a masterful kink, you know, performance, or he was like making his wife have sex with people on camera. Who knows?
CNC.
The time in Hollywood.
Huh?
Once upon a time in Hollywood, they hit on like a cuck situation with Roman Polanski and the Margot Robbie is what's her name, Sharon Tate, and like her ex-husband like lived with them, so it was like a weird situation. They hit on Tarantino hit on a little bit.
The guy that got killed along with her, Jay Sebring, she was engaged to him, and Polanski
Yeah.
with them hanging out or fucking doing whatever. I think it was just, you know, it was a super powerful, famous dude, and I just think they just operated at a different frequency.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. So Tom Hanks, we're back towards Tom Hanks could be a pedophile. We're back. Mr. Rogers, definitely a pedophile. Tom Hanks, very
disagree, dude. You ever see the video of Mr. Rogers? Oh wait, you were saying Tom Hanks. No. You ever see the video of Mr. Rogers testifying in front of Congress for funding for like PBS or whatever?
So good.
It's one of the most incredible pieces of film. And I go back to it every once in a while. And there's also a really incredible Mr. Rogers. It might be like an acceptance speech somewhere. And he makes all the pedophile famous people in the audience cry.
Really?
Yeah.
That's funny. I do think pedophile is the racist. It's like, you're a fucking pedophile. Instead of being like, you're racist, they're like, you're a pedophile. You're like, no, I'm not. I swear to God, I'm not.
That's the trump card.
Yeah, dude. Like, well,
you know what I was thinking recently? You know how like so now everyone is racist, right? Like it's so everyone. It's almost hard to avoid being called a racist. So like real racists are going to start like post racism soon. Like, yeah, I got out of it after it got really mainstream. they're gonna innovate in a way. They're gonna create post racism it's gonna make regular racism seem kind of like common and just like kind of lame. And post racism is gonna redefine the genre and change it and kind of make old racism obsolete.
Man, I was racist before it was cool.
Yeah, exactly. Like, dude, they've ruined it. Everyone is the wannabes.
Yeah, dude. I wonder what that looks like. I mean, also too, it's like the thing that I had, like, so in Bryn Mawr, they were very much like anti-racist literature and all this stuff, and it's very much constructed in a way that white supremacist literature is written, where it's like, they take a group of people, they're like, these are the true people, or like, in anti-racism, the worldview is that, the problems that have rose are because of white people. And it's like, so they take like a selective history, like all those other things do. And then they're like, and these are the people who did this thing. And this is why things are the way they are, blah, 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 blah. And it's all centered on like curing racism by identifying the problem based on people's race. And it's like, okay. It's like, I guess that works. It's like, sure. But yeah, that's what Einstein said. He said, you can't fix
Black
a problem
people.
you can't fix a problem using the same type of thinking that created it in the first place.
Did you see that video a comedian made on Twitter where it's like woke and racist and they realize they're like the same person?
Yeah, Ryan Long. Yeah.
Yeah, that video is so funny.
Well, actually, I don't know if you guys, Einstein, he loved black people.
He hated Chinese people, though.
Did he hate Chinese people?
He didn't hate them. He was just like, these people are like hive mind, like insects. Like, this is going to be a terrible world if they take over. It's in his diary.
That's fucking crazy. Yeah, because was
he wrong?
No.
Brittany's uncle lives in Princeton. He was telling me that's where Einstein. I didn't even know Einstein was in Princeton, but he would go. Apparently, he's like, yeah, Einstein used to go to the hood all the time. He would just wear he'd tuck his jeans up and wear sandals and walk around and talk to people constantly. He's like, this dude met his dad, used to chill with Einstein.
Dude,
like, yeah, he was super nice.
Everything about Einstein makes you picture him at the Black Strip Club.
That's where he was. That's funny that I got that nice thing from that dude, and then you're like, oh yeah, but he also was in his journal. He's like, yeah, but these fucking Asians are another thing.
that poster of Einstein, like he's watching a chick shake her fat ass on stage.
Dude, he was standing on the Gravitron at the strip club back in the day for sure.
So I just saw Einstein's a bitch pop up. Yeah, he is. That is funny. One of like the greatest minds of like the generation was like, yeah, but dude, fucking hive mind, fucking Asians, dude. And then he's like, oh shit, that was my diary. Didn't think anything of that.
Nobody bats 1,000, dude.
True. That was right next to E = MC squared, and he's like, oh.
Nobody bats 1,000. The Albert Einstein story.
Oh fuck! Damn, dude. Yeah, I realized when I wrote the thing for this thing, it was like, it was like before space hand mediating, and people were like, someone will comment like, what the fuck's hand mediating? I was like, god damn it.
That was me. Yeah,
my bad. Beforehand meditating. Did anyone chill for like 20 minutes and do any sort of like mindfulness stuff?
I've been doing a lot of journaling as soon as I wake up. I only do it for 2 minutes though, but it's a good way to gauge shit that's annoying me. Like, for the first like hour that you wake up, you're just like on fucking autopilot, but going right to the fucking journal and just writing for 10 minutes really is a good way to just get out anything that just might be like below the surface.
Yeah. Yeah, I like that. Even writing in general, for me, it's like, because my whole thing right now is figuring out kind of how to interact with my thoughts in a way that they don't like dominate my behavior or like the way I feel. But writing is a good way. They call it kind of like it's like a leverage point for like kind of getting some space between your thoughts and yourself. But if you write down a thought, they're not in your head kind of where they can kind of like pull strings and manipulate like feelings and actions. Where if you put them on paper, now you have literal physical space between yourself and your thoughts, and a really kind of easier way to look at them. Like, oh, that's what I'm thinking. And it's not like you can have a thought and literally it like a certain thought can just send a feeling to your body through like hormones and, whatever neurotransmitters and everything. So you can have like a feeling like I'm going to be alone forever. And then you experience that thought in your body and you're like, ugh, and the whole point of meditating is to kind of like get some space between a thought and then like your physical feelings that come from. It's pretty cool, man. I finally, after fucking like 10 years of trying to meditate, have like been able to get some success, tiny little bit, and kind of getting in space like that, which is sick.
Is there anything you tried that didn't work out and like you're like, this is a total waste of time?
Yeah, when basically the whole time I meditated before, I would just sit there and be like, I'm so sick. I'm about to break through to the other side. I'm the fucking best at meditating. So what really, really works is the idea of accepting. So you just kind of like You breathe in, breathe out. You get bored. You accept the fact that you're bored. You don't go like, man, this sucks. You get a judgment. You're like, oh, this is fucking boring. I suck at this. All right, I accept the fact that I think I suck at this. You just keep going right back to you're trying to give your brain a very simple task and observing the way that it gets knocked off track constantly. So you sit there, just focus on your breath. Then like 3 breaths, you're like, damn, I should start a fucking, lawn service. And you're like, fuck, I fucked up. Not in a bad way. You're like, I accept the fact that my brain strayed, bring it back. And you get longer and longer. And eventually when like the things pop up that are distracting you from meditating, after you keep accepting them, what happens sometimes for me is that I'll get into like almost like a blissed out state where I'm not thinking at all. And I'll get that for like a couple minutes and then I'll be like, damn, this is awesome. And then it goes away. And I'm like, God damn it.
So instead of the direct route of trying to think of nothing, it's like try to be mindful, feel your feelings, physical stuff. And then rule number 2 is when that fails, you just accept it. And you just forgive yourself. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah. And you can just say, you can accept almost on a deeper level, accept the fact that that's all you get, is that brain, rather than be like, I'm going to make my brain stop being the brain that it is. You just like, no, my brain is the brain that it is. And I accept the fact that that's the way it is. And, knowing that now I can just kind of move forward, doing whatever I kind of want.
That's like the warm up for your meditation, where it doesn't seem like it's part of the process. It's like, oh, I got to get this part out of the way, but it is actually
exactly.
It's part of the road to meditating is driving by all that shit.
Yeah, I mean, I would, and that's the more I do it, I'm like, well, that's kind of all. That's all there is. And then you get these momentary moments of bliss here and there, but then after now, I'll get to the point where like, I thought I figured out how to get to them, but then now I've realized that, well, I'm just crafting this whole thing to give myself like kind of like a good feeling. And that's, so then that kind of works against me. So then, I'm just like, I try to just sit there. And even if I'm laying there bored and like, this is stupid, that is my meditation where I'm laying there bored and like, this is stupid and just making myself do it. So, and again, who knows? There's people who've been doing this for like 40 years straight. So I don't really know, but that's what's helping me.
If anybody has trouble getting into like a regular meditative state, if you put on a guided meditation, I think that's kind of like a way to ease into it, like the training wheels, because it's like you're not competing against yourself. You're essentially just like listening to another person talk. And even like that, you want for like 10 minutes, I feel like that can even be beneficial.
Yeah, that works too. I'm a big, I know some people are doing like in recovery, but I'm a big component of doing the cannabis meditation. I like doing cannabis assisted mindfulness a lot, and the guided all of it kind of works, man. Sometimes even just taking a walk and just being like, I call it closing my browsers or closing out my tabs, where like I'll take a walk and I'll start thinking of a thing and I'll close that tab out, that tab out, that tab out. So I'm just like walking around, like looking at leaves and shit, and just being like, wow. And then, then obviously things pop back up. But yeah, all that stuff works really. Just really being able to take time to just inhabit your life in a way where you're not trying to alter or change it. Just for even 5 minutes a day is all you kind of really need to do.
When you do the cannabis assisted meditation, do you find it's easier to quiet your own mind, or is it just that the world's like so much more vivid for you that it's easier to quiet your mind that way?
Yeah, it can be, sometimes it can be like a rush of like a ton of thoughts and stuff, but you almost have this kind of floaty bodily sensation that makes it, you can kind of start picturing things a little more vividly, and it just puts you in like a different space. I think it's hard to explain. But, I would say, the drawback of that is that you can start using it as a crutch just to entertain yourself and get away from like the idea of like being really bored, which I try to that's why I try to alternate. So I'm not just doing one or the other, or just doing just the cannabis ones. But yeah, it does. It kind of like you can bring your mind a bunch of chatter, but it's also at the same time bringing kind of, lighter, easier access to kind of like visuals within your brain, which is kind of a little more engaging, and then like get a little more sensations. For me, I think it's kind of cool just to show yourself where you could get yourself to, and then you just like stop doing it and try to get yourself there normally if you can.
Matthew, remember when we did the group deep dive with me, you, and Sid?
Yeah.
And this actually plays into what we were just talking about. So we did the 3 of us did the deep dive in the dark basement. And I had a nervous breakdown about how stupid it was for the entire first 5 minutes. And you guys held strong. You guys, first of all, Sid was bolt upright sitting crisscross applesauce on a beanbag chair. Or did he sink into it eventually? I don't know. But I was losing my mind. I was scream laughing about how stupid it was, or how stupid I felt for doing it.
Yeah.
And then eventually I fully settled in. Like that was just part of my process to fully settling in. And then it ended up being incredibly helpful and therapeutic. And you just let it ride out. You were just like, it's all right if Butterly's going to lose his marbles over this.
Well, there was a chance. I was like, "There's a chance these guys." I could. It was funny because in my brain, you guys were in my basement. I was kind of I had you guys over to do this. It's like it's as weird as inviting like two people to sleep over at like 34 years old
in the middle of the day.
Yeah. So
you guys want to come take a nap with me?
So I was rolling the dice. I knew I was rolling the dice, but in my head, I'm like, dude, this is awesome. Or maybe I'm just crazy. Well, I'll have to see. And that was kind of my litmus test.
I want to do it again. I want to do it again, and then we record the immediate aftermath.
Yeah, that was fun. Well, that's kind of the fun of it. It's not like so that was the fun part of that was being like, damn, these guys might. And I was fully prepared for both of you guys. Like, hey, man, we got to go. And like 5 minutes into it, I'm like, oh man, that was a mistake.
No, I was enthusiastic.
But it's one of those things where I'm like, it's pretty awesome and it's pretty accessible. But again, it's one of those things that, it's like, can it be done in a way that doesn't turn into like kind of a thing that someone's doing just to kind of chase a sensation or this or that? I can do it I can do it without that turning into it pretty easily, but that's me and everyone's different. But yeah, dude, I swear by it, man, especially if you just use it in that context where it's like, I actually use weed way less now than I used to because I go, oh, if I just like don't do it and only do it in that one way, then it makes it a better thing rather than me like kind of driving, half paying attention, which I'm like, oh, this is fucking dangerous.
It's like no fat for weed, dude.
Kind of, yeah.
Have you thought about doing it with any other substances?
No, I mean, right now, no, only because it's like with the deep dives, I can do it, pop out of it, and just go about my day. Whereas if I'm doing it with mushrooms, like that's a whole day I need to dedicate. Where like deep dives, once you come out of it, you can just go out to dinner and like do your thing. And you're not, for me personally, I'm not as like kind of spaced out and needing all that recovery time.
So I did kind of go on to replicate that with fungus, and I've only done it at night, and I have let myself just enjoy funny YouTube videos, but it was part of the process of like sliding into that deep meditative state, and it was on top of the micros at the end of last year, doing a heavy deep dive on that. Some of the most helpful sessions I've had of anything I've tried to help myself.
Yeah,
I should see a therapist at some point, but I have to say like that moving on to, taking the fucking booms. That was the best. That was the best thing for me.
Yeah, I've only ever done small amounts and gone into like the flow tank, but never like a heavy. And when we say deep dive, it just means doing, even if you, whether with substance or without, just really closing your eyes and just like laying there for about like an hour and some change. So that's like the difference between like when like change, like it's just getting high. It's like, no, just getting high is sitting there and watching South Park, which is fun. But if you like were to put on a blindfold and do it with kind of intention behind it, it is a different experience. So
you can do that with a microdose too.
You can do this
with a microdose.
Yeah, that's what I used to do in flow tanks. When I was microdosing, I would like eat an edible and then on a microdose of mushrooms and hit in a flow tank for a little bit. And it's like as far as my brain goes, that's all the the little jumper cables it needs because that's like I don't need much more.
Well, in that regard, I was doing over my lunch breaks at work. Every day when I'm in my office, I take at least 3 hours of walks. But I was doing the micro, and then going for an hour-long walk instead of eating lunch, and it was every day. I had a little bit of time that even though I was walking around, I was taking insights around me. I was, microed. I might like talk to a friend. I might call somebody, but yeah, that worked as well.
Yeah, dude, I used to when I was finishing up at Bryn Mawr for the social work degree, I would go when I was still on my microdosing regimen when like all that Saturday Night Live shit happened. So people eventually slowly found out the truth. So I would go on a microdose into a building full of people who very openly hated me. And then like so I would sit in class the whole time and be like, oh man, I can feel it. And then, but there was a little bridge, like if you on break, there was a bridge with a creek and I would just go stand out there, look at the creek, go back in and be like, all right, that was fucking horrible. But yeah, it's funny how you can get those little, you can do that anytime. Just go find your little Shangri-Las.
I found if you limit, so you're not really much about alcohol or anything, but I found that if I limit it to one day and just a couple of drinks, it's almost like instead of ramping up my thoughts, it's almost a wind down effect of like just kind of being to relax. And look back at what you've done as opposed to like, I don't know, getting ramped up in different thoughts. So it's almost like you're looking out on a mountain of the best way to describe it is like looking out on a mountain over everything you've done. And you're not drunk. You have like 2 drinks throughout a day, have it like 4 p.m. And then by the time it's like 8, 9 o'clock, you're ready for bed. You get a great night's sleep, and you just, I don't know. I found that to be a very recent thing I've been trying now for the past couple of weeks because my girl and I stopped doing substances during the week. So that's been a fun thing to indulge in.
Microdosing for Loco.
Honestly, look at this is what I bought for it. I didn't mean to. Look at this. I thought this was going to be just 1 drink. I thought it was going to be a 16 ounce. I misheard him. He said 32 ounces, and it's just like it's literally a 4 Loco. Yeah. There's a 4 Loco basically. So I was doing this yesterday, just in my parents' backyard, just hanging out on a bench, just laying back in the sun. Felt really nice.
I think what's so interesting about this conversation is, you know, I'm a sober kid, and so I do, you know, I meet with my sponsor every Sunday from like 8:15 to 9:15 in the morning. So, you know, it eats into the church sessions, but it's so interesting because I can get those same feelings with extended sobriety, and so it's interesting that life can be just as eye-opening or like psychedelic and crazy without substance as well. And I have to live that life now. And like, I used to love, like I did mushrooms all the time, and I did it after my dad passed, and I had all these like epic experiences. And then I'm like, oh no, I get life full on now. No anesthesia. And it's so different and so much more fulfilling at times. And it's like, I don't know. I just was thinking about that. Like, damn, it's so different. Because I wonder if the experience is truly different, or if it's just another state of mind, but it's getting you to the same experience. You know, for me, I still have like through Kundalini yoga, I'd have these super psychedelic experiences, or through epic, hardcore, intense workouts. Like that's how I sort of get through the morass and the like manic thoughts to like really numb out. So I in a bad way, I also try to find other ways to numb out without substances. So I don't know. Anyway.
Well, so one thing I would say to any sober people, and Rainey is a fucking guru at this from this angle, but I found that one of the things that I was enjoying about my micro days was just making myself a cup of tea in the morning, and I turned it into this almost like ceremonial thing. And then I found that it works without anything. If you're just making yourself tea in the morning and you set aside the time to actually enjoy it, you're not like pouring hot water in a cup and running out the door and getting in the car. You don't have to do it in the morning. You can do it in an office. But if you give yourself like a little ceremony to look forward to, where you're making yourself a warm cup of something that you're going to enjoy, and then you actually take the time to mindfully enjoy the time that you spend with it, you can achieve kind of the same effect. Mm-hmm. It's not party time, but it's helpful.
Right. And like, I know my sponsor, every sponsor I've ever had, and it's really interesting. And even like super successful people I've engaged with at work, like through mentorship, they spend dedicated time in the morning and not just getting up and running, you know, and Alcoholics Anonymous, they use the term self-will, right? So not getting up and just like hitting the road and like acting without thought. And it's just interesting. Yeah. If you have those sort of specific spaces for your routines or your ceremonies or your sort of internal processes to get grounded and centered within yourself, it can be with or without substances and just as fulfilling sometimes. I do miss edibles. I do miss pot so much, but I know like for me, it's not, I would not be effective. And so it's interesting, like wanting it, but then knowing I don't get to have it and I have to live life full on, like feelings fucking suck sometimes. And I have to sit in it and live through it. I don't know. And not make an ass out of myself from.
No, but I think a question. She muted herself. Wow. I was going to ask her a question.
Shoot.
Oh, so I was actually, there's literally no factual basis behind this, but I was going through a deep dive on the internet, and I saw something very similar though. And this guy was writing about how whatever he's sober now, and he's found a way to, whenever he goes out to bars or social events, he can like channel like a drunk state. even though he's sober. And I was like, okay, this might be total bullshit, but this was also like 2 years ago before like kind of everything's mainstream with like, you know, the brain and psychology. So I was just wondering if you had any experiences like that.
Yeah, for me, like I don't want to feel like that. I was like sloppy, gross alcoholic. So it wasn't fun. You know, I thought I looked sophisticated, but it was not cute. So like for me, you know, I don't necessarily want to be around a bunch of drunk people. I'm learning how to sort of, I'm sorry, my cat went off. My headphones died, but just being around people that are drinking and not wanting to just like leave, because sometimes drunk people suck. I don't know, Mike, if you have thoughts on that. It comes with time too, being around people that are all fucked up. I tend to just kind of in and out, like, okay, I'll come to happy hours and be in and out and have the water and not want to talk about being sober, but I don't really want to feel
It's
drunk.
not really your thing.
No.
Okay.
It's very, very funny to imagine the end result of a lady meditating is turning into a drunk girl. Out of all of my emotions, you
like crying,
shut up.
hysterically crying, yeah, or like super sloppy with like wine teeth. Yeah, no.
I'm enlightened. You're a bitch.
Why the fuck are you talking to me? Tell me I'm pretty.
You just like somehow telepathically connect to your ex-boyfriend's phone. He's like, "What? Jesus!"
Throwing up like for no reason. Yeah.
But I think that for me, that's the goal, man. Of like, you know, being able to just kind of, you know, not